Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Scott Jack Morgan. I'm an independent news and culture commentator, free speech and critical thinking advocate, and boy, your arms tired. I'm so glad that you're alive. I'm so glad that you're here on a Friday. TGI Fridays. TGI Friday. Is there still a place called TGI Fridays? When I was a kid, there was a place called TGI Fridays. It was all the rage. It was all the rage. We used to go watch our Monday night football. You know, you get off of a day out of the office, you know, and a couple of you and your friends at work, you're like, let's just go out, watch the football after work. You know, it starts at 6. Let's just watch the football. Let's go to TGI Fridays, man. I know it's Monday. We'll go. Isn't that funny? We're going on Mondays. TGI Fridays, bro. That was the thing for a while. Are you a TGI Fridays guy? I hope you are. I don't think they ever had any vegan food. Too much caffeine or crack? I haven't had any yet. I'm about to have my first sip of caffeine. What do you mean? I haven't had any caffeine yet today. Instant coffee. I'm trying to drink all the instant coffee in my house in order to save money. Even though a 12-ounce bag costs $6.99 now, I'm offended that it costs $6.99. I'm offended that the cheapest coffee I can find costs $6.99. So since I have this crappy instant coffee at my house, I'm forcing myself to drink it as punishment, as almost like a hunger strike. I can't give up coffee, but as like a hunger strike, I'll just drink instant coffee that somebody left at my house until I can get in there. You were coming in hot. I'm always coming in hot. I'm coming in hot. All right, well, then let's do this. This is the Feral Friday show. I'm not wearing my tie because we kind of take it easy on Fridays. We watch some stuff. A lot of you, some of you, the Anicle, a couple of you, put some links in the community post, and I will react to those. We've got a couple other stuff we're going to react to. It's going to be fun, you know. We're going to have some fun. Maybe talk a little politics, talk about a little news, a little less serious than the Monday through Thursday crowd gets. You know how it is. All right, this is the Morning Sky Show. My name is Sky Jack Morgan. This is the #1 news reaction show in YouTube history. Thank you. And these are the credits. This is the opening sequence. Are you ready for it? Here we go. Thank you. Yeah, baby. Oh no. Sunrise on the horizon. Sky is doing 9. News with Sky Jack Morgan. Bright and early new dawn. The day brings new blue. Stylophone, here we go. Hey! Ho! Yeah! I'm doing the chicken dance. Well supplied. Yeah! Good morning headlines with Sky Jack Morgan. Start your day just fine. Information for you, darling. Yeah, that's how I dance at the club. It drives the ladies crazy. Oh, here comes the break. The beat's gone. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Sky Show, the morning Sky Show. It's blue, no denying. Sky is blue, no denying. I know you're horny like I am. Why I ain't getting the full screen, my dude? You don't want full? You want full screen? What, you want full screen? What do you mean, like? Are you on No, you're on horizontal. You want full screen? You want like boom? Oh my gosh! I usually keep it on. This little, I usually do this because you can see the please like and subscribe at the top. Also, I like the fact that it's like you could see the background and the little bunny rabbits over here and the logos over here. I'll do it. Fine. You know what? Pause the track. It's Friday, man. Whatever you say goes. Whatever you say goes. Oh, it's on your end. I thought you meant my. I like this. I like this. This is where I live. In my little box. That's usually. You're on regular too, right? I don't know what regular YouTube is, but thank you all for being here. Have you ever seen those kids insurance commercials? Cars for Kids commercials. I don't actually know what they're advertising, but they've been going on for a long time, and I don't know what their whole shtick is. Why isn't my thing working? Hello? Why isn't this working? Oh no. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. I thought we'd lost some functionality here. All right. This is the thing that I was watching today. Cars for Kids. Are you familiar with Cars for Kids? Let's do it. Are you familiar? Maybe you've heard of the Cars for the Kids.
1877 Cars for Kids. Well, chances are
the worst song at 1-800 Cars for Kids. KKK, that's how we live. One more K and we'll go to jail. So it's Cars for Kids. Sieg Heil. This is Kids on Drummers. Kids and Drummers. Kids. It's Kids Incorporated.
you've heard this jingle, but you may not
I
hear
hate
it
it
anymore.
Let's go back to Mike Rogers. Mike, a judge has ruled Cars for Kids.
I like how this guy, he's like, 1877 Cars for Kids. That Chip guy really has an eating. Oh, never mind. Is Chip here? Is Chip here? Is Chip here, everybody? Do you think that, let me ask you this. Do you think that men who count their protein and weigh all their food, isn't that just an eating disorder? I'm just saying. Seems like an eating disorder. My friend Chip, I love the guy. He's one of my favorite people on planet Earth. I kind of worry about him. Every time I see someone on the internet talking about protein or counting calories or weighing their food, I always think about my poor friend Chip, how much time he spends weighing food, and it's an eating disorder, man. I love him. I don't want him to. I feel like he's harming himself, you know? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. People should just enjoy food, eat consciously, you know? Eat with intention. Eat with intention. That's important. Eat with intent. Don't just gobble shit down, shove it down your throat. But I feel like a lot of vegans have eating disorders. I feel like Fiona Apple, man, she's vegan, but she also has an eating disorder. I don't know. She was so hot when I was in high school. Fiona Apple. I think she ruined me for all future women. Fiona Apple ruined me for all women.
Can't keep using their ads.
Yeah, not in California. We've got the judge's ruling right here, and it all stems from what they're doing with the money after you donate a car to them. Now, this all stems from a case where a man in Orange County donated a 2001 Volvo to the organization. He got $250 for it, and he said, according to the judge, he thought that money was going to go to underprivileged kids here in California. He says he thought that because of the ad.
Uh-oh.
Quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1877
Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Yeah, because kids.
I'm really touched by this because I had my favorite car, my first car. It was a Volkswagen Carnegie, a 1964 Volkswagen Carnegie. It was fucking cherry. I worked on it. I worked so hard on that car. But eventually the engine, it seized, and I donated my car. I donated my car to the blind. But for years they've been doing this 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car or else all the children will die horrible deaths. And all the kids you see in this commercial, they're all about to die from cancer. And it's always like, all right, I'm going to donate my car. But it turns out the kids aren't even getting those cars. They're turning the frogs gay.
Kids are our future is what the text on the bottom of the ad says, but he was shocked to find out that the money doesn't go to kids in California at all. Instead, goes to Cars for Kids' sister foundation, URA, which is a Jewish organization based in New Jersey that actually benefits teenagers. Now, this case went to
Teenagers? Those aren't kids. Shit, I thought that this was going to be more serious. They're going. Oh. I thought they were not. I thought they was going to find out that it was going to Israel or something.
court in Orange County, the judge ruled that ultimately Cars for Kids is using misleading practices in advertising here in the state of California, which violates state law. I want to show you some of the testimony that was given in court, and this was in the judge's ruling. The COO testified that the organization's primary purpose is not to help economically disadvantaged children. The COO in court went on to say programs include matchmaking for young adults and gap year trips to Israel for 17 and 18-year-olds. That's where the majority of the funding is going. And
Are you kidding me? They took Cars for Kids and they put the money for gap years in Israel? I was just joking about the Israel thing. I didn't think I was just totally joking about the Israel thing. I literally did not. I have not seen this video. Oh no, donate your car so we can send more teenagers on a gap year trip for a vacation in Israel. Oh no. Oh, Israel, you just can't catch a break, can you? Poor Israel. That's horrible. That is horrible. You can't trust anything. If you can't trust Cars for Kids, what can you trust? Now I'm supposed to trust the Democrats?
and also admitted that Cars for Kids operates no functional programs in California.
What?
Except for a backpack giveaway that they admitted is also for marketing purposes and branding purposes. I want to show you the response.
But hey, I bet those backpacks are nice, right? No, the backpacks are horrible. They're filled with razor blades. We give them to children.
From Cars for Kids. Cars for Kids says, we believe the decision is deeply flawed, ignores the facts, and misapplies the law. It's well known that we are a Jewish organization, and our website makes it abundantly clear. Take a look.
I had no idea. I've known about Cars for Kids for a long time. I've known that stupid song. 1-877 Cars for Kids. I don't know why we're all staring into the void. We gotta feel that God-shaped hole in my chest. Oh my God, there's something under my bed. There's something like, that's how the song goes. Something like that. I had no idea it was a Jewish organization. I had zero idea.
You can judge for yourself. And they gave us the link to their website. Their statement goes on to say, we believe this case was nothing more than a lawyer-driven attempt to siphon off charitable funds for their own gain. We expect to win on appeal because the law and the facts are clearly on our side. I want to point something out about their first part of the statement, that the judge...
Like, even look at the logo. The logo is supposed to look like amateurish. We're just a nonprofit for children in California, but really your money's going to Israel. We thought it'd be funny to pretend to be cool. But we're playing all of you like stupid little fools. Yeah, this is this is one of my favorite stories because it just goes to show the propaganda is so strong. Like, why do you think so many people hate Muslims in America? Why do people hate Muslims in America? Could it be that AIPAC is running constant ads and making scary movies about Muslims and making TV shows about scary Muslims, that it's paying for campaigns of politicians for people who are scary. They make Muslims really scary. I gotta hate Muslims because the TV told me to hate the Muslims. They're totally different from all the other religions. I wonder why. Who's paying for all that propaganda against the Muslims? I know that there's a lot of people watching who are starting to wake up to the idea that Animal exploitation, for example, is completely just the result of a propaganda campaign so that companies like Cargill can feed cash crops to animals and sell the flesh of the animals. But in order to get that to that point, we've got to separate you from the murder of those animals and then convince you that they're not animals at all, but burgers and pizzas. We have to convince you that they aren't worthy of your moral consideration. We have to convince you that not even to consider those things. Oh, yeah, we care about cows, but this is a necessary evil. So even if you get to the point where you actually do care about the cows or the pigs or the chickens, or the minks, you end up going, yeah, but it's a necessary evil. It's a necessary evil. Maybe not the minks. I mean, that's horrible. Nobody needs a mink coat, but you gotta have chickens, right? No, that's propaganda. That's advertising. You fell for it. You're a sucker. You fell for it. Look around. You start waking up. Oh, I'm seeing 10,000 ads every day. Some of them are trying to scare me about Muslims, and the other ones, the overwhelming majority, is to try to get me to disassociate the idea that animals are living, breathing, sentient individuals. Kids, the car, what that car for kids for slaughters, car for kids slaughters animals for Israel. Yeah, I don't know about the animal slaughter thing, but I'm kind of bringing them all together because at the end of the day, if you hate Muslims, it's because you've been tricked to hate Muslims. Somebody paid somebody else to tell you to be afraid about Muslims. So who told you to be afraid about Muslims? Well, everybody, your church, your politicians, the media, constantly telling you, be afraid, be very afraid. But who paid those guys? Who paid all those people? Well, probably mostly AIPAC, because Israel's surrounded by nations of Islam, so to speak. Arab nations. If you're scared, if you could get Americans to really be afraid of Arabs, half the work is done for you, son.
Directly addresses here. You saw in their statement, look for yourself, go to carsforkids.org. But the judge says people that hear this ad on the radio or TV shouldn't have to go to the website to understand exactly where the funds are going. The judge says the ads do not make it clear that this is an organization benefiting Jewish children in New Jersey. And in fact, none of the funds, or a very small amount of the funds, are actually benefiting kids here in California.
New Jersey. So the money's going to kids in New Jersey to take gap year trips to Israel. Man, this is one of my favorite stories. Positrack says Jack received some pretty shitty things about PETA, where all their funds go. Well, it's easy to look up where all their funds go because they're a 501c3 and they have to disclose all that. There's a website where you can just go and look at every little thing, how much every single person is paid. I'm on there if you can look back far enough. I've been paid by PETA. I mean, I don't trust organizations. I mean, what do you mean? PETA's, I mean, what, are you giving money to PETA? If you're not giving money to PETA, don't worry about it. If you are giving money to PETA, maybe look into it. See if you agree with where their money goes. But they're a huge organization. I think like $80 million a year is what they get and give. So, you didn't research anything. I mean, I don't really want to go into the whole history of PETA and how they spend every penny. But they probably do some stuff that you disagree with. So before you give them money, maybe weigh in. But if you don't give them money, then I say, shut the fuck up. But I don't trust any organization. I don't trust all these cults like PETA, DXC, all of them. I don't like them. I don't like all these organizations. I find them to be cultish and weird and counterproductive to animal liberation. So there you go. All right, thank you so much for being here. It was more or less a question, brah. It's all good. You're good. Like Christianity. Yeah, like Christianity. Another one. Like Christianity is not a cult, but the church that you're part of might be, Christianity as just like a concept of the philosophies and teachings of Christ, that's not a cult. But like when you get into that church and you got a dude you're talking to and he's your boss when you're in that room and he's like he's got some authority, some airs of authority. Yeah, that's all cultish shit, man. I ain't into it. People always go, religions are cults. Well, not really. It's the churches themselves. They're cults. Yeah, it's nasty business, and we shouldn't have them. But hey, I think religion Go for it. It's the cult. It's the cults at the church level, at the mosque level, at the synagogue level. That shit's creepy, and I don't like it. They drink the Kool-Aid. Indeed, a ding-dang-doo. Don't forget that ding-dang-doo. Oh, hippie, you got a ding-dang-doo emoji. How come you ain't using it? Sky Triple D, baby. Get that Triple D action in there. Anyway, Cars for Kids is giving money to kids in Israel. Actually, no, they're giving money to American teenagers in New Jersey, which Jewish ones only, and they get to take trips to Israel on their gap year. I think it's great. That is what just happened. 1877 Cars for Kids. I think my friend Chip has an eating disorder, but I love him so much I wish he's okay, and I want to make sure he lives another day. Something like that. Yeah, ding dang do it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make it happen. Let's do the next one.
Women have the right to vote without any duty to the United States. So when it comes to military conscription, men have a duty to the United States.
He says duty so much in this. Okay, so military conscription, men have a duty. Speaking of, in Israel, men and women both have to join the military. They both have to be conscripted. And their women are kind of badass. They got Gal Gadot. She's one tough cookie, that one. She's got the Gal Gadot. What do you think? Do you think women should be drafted?
States, men can be conscripted. There's the draft, right? Whereas women have no such duty. And so for this reason, my current position is, I'm not saying we should get rid of women's right to vote.
I'm not saying that. Of course not. That's not what I'm suggesting at all. Shh.
I'm saying there needs to be an equality that is created so that kind of brings men and women either equitably or equally at the same place. Equality would dictate that women have to be drafted in the military, and technically they have to be not just to the military, but they can also face frontline combat.
You see, this guy, Brian, is such a stupid piece of garbage. It's really makes me so mad because you operate under this. It makes sense, right? When you hear it, you're like, oh, well, if women have equal rights, then they should be drafted. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you're a victim of patriarchy, don't you see? You have been tricked into thinking that your value as a man is how you serve the state, and that the state can send you to foreign countries in order to secure their oil interests with your blood. You have been tricked into thinking that men are cannon fodder. And you think because you have been fucked by the state, women should be fucked by the state too. That's clear as day patriarchy, and why patriarchy fucks with most men. Especially, you think, oh, well, the white man, they're on top, so they're feeling. No, the white men are fucked too. The white men are totally screwed. They are, you could send the white man, you could tell a white man to do anything. Hey, get down that hole, dig through 6 miles of shit, because we got to lay a pipe. What's the pipe for? Money. We're going to put our money in the pipe, so send the money to someplace else. You got it, boss. You could convince a white man to do all sorts of stupid shit, because as long as you tell him that he's better than the black man, or better than a woman especially, holy shit, then he'll be resentful of black men and women for not doing that job, for not being able to get those jobs or do those jobs. He'll blame everybody because, I have to do all these hard things. Well, you get all the money, so you get your little minor amount of privilege. But you're sucker. This guy, Brian, is the biggest sucker of all. He brings on these OnlyFans models onto his show to ask them, like, what the capital of Zimbabwe is. And when they don't know, he, like, scoffs. Him and that Wilson piece of shit. These guys, man. Well, women should have to do the draft. No one should have to be drafted, you stupid fool. It's so painful because you're so close. Men, their duty is to go to war. No. It's not your duty to go to war. Not at all. You should not have to sign shit for your government. That's how governments work. They threaten violence. You need to resist. Resist. It's that easy.
I disagree with that.
However, practically speaking, when it comes to
Look at this. Race baiting. Nah, man. Nah, this ain't race baiting, son. white people, I just got finished saying, white people get screwed. Especially, like, white men get fucking screwed because of patriarchy. The rich try to trick you into thinking men are in charge, especially the white ones. All they got to do is their duty. Well, if he had any brains at all, he would seek solidarity with women who are also oppressed by the state. But instead, because he considers himself over them in the hierarchy, he'll reinforce everything the state claims, all the power they claim, all the power the rich claim. Because if he can help suppress women, he will feel higher up on that rung, on the rung that he occupies. And it'll make his position on that rung stronger in his mind and in the eyes of many. In the eyes of many, this guy, people love this guy, Brian whatever podcast.
The lethality of the military, which is the purpose of the military, to be lethal, like to be effective. Women in combat positions are very much ineffective.
Women in combat positions are very much ineffective. You just say that and we're supposed to believe it? That's not even true. Women in combat situations are not highly ineffective. Women are in combat situations in Israel. They're drafted. They're not highly ineffective. They're very effective. What are you talking about? He just says that without any evidence. That which can be presented without evidence can, of course, be ignored, dismissed without evidence. Hello, thank you so much. Hey, I totally agree. Thank you so much, an honest doubter, Sky City Rebel. Can I get a W in the chat for new Sky City Rebel? Whoever got that gifted membership, thank you so much, an honest doubter. Absolutely correct. Man. Pink Ranger kicked ass. Yeah, Pink Ranger did kick ass, but you know what? So did Captain Janeway. Captain Janeway kicked ass in battle. Combat situations, women do just fine because they have guns. You ever heard of Boudica? She sacked the city of London. What do you mean women don't have? There's lots of historical women who have kicked so much ass. You ever heard of Joan of Arc? Highly effective in combat. Just fucking painful, man. Russian women kicked ass in World War II. I know, Nurse Rod. I saw a video of a Russian woman like waving a flag in front of the Brandenburger Tor. I thought it was so great. After the liberation of Berlin, the short time before they built the wall, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Got those Nazis out. Got those Nazis out of there.
So how do we balance equality between men and women, but also balancing the biological reality that women...
The biological reality of these fucking podcasters, man. These stupid douche nozzles. It's the biological reality that women are stupid. God damn it. These guys, it's like they're in the 6th grade. They never learned that cooties aren't real.
Don't have the same capacity, generally speaking, as men to be as effective soldiers.
We can't use equality because we are two different beings.
If we're going to...
We are two different beings. That's true. Thank you for inviting the OnlyFans models on the show to weigh in on how they feel about the draft.
Have equal rights, there ought to be a corresponding equal responsibility. Women have no duties, women have no responsibilities in the same way that...
Your rights are not resultant from your duties, you piece of shit! So, in Brian's mind, disabled people who can't be drafted are also no rights. They should have to do something for those rights. That's not what rights are, you piece of shit. If women want rights, well, they could do X, Y, Z. That's not how rights work. You just have them. You just got them by being alive. Rights are basically a contract that you sign with your government saying, not so fast, motherfucker. That's what's supposed to be. The state is trying to murder you, enslave you, do all sorts of horrible things to you. And your right is to say, no, not that far. That's what a right is in the legal sense, not like moral rights and shit like that. But legal rights like the ones he's talking about. Give me a break. Oh, this guy is so stupid. He should be drafted. Draft Brian. This guy should go to war. Go to Iran, Brian. Earn your rights. Well, I'm a high value male. Yeah, go. Let me see how good at combat you are, you piece of shit. Women can't do you think this fucking soft-bellied motherfucker, you think Brian from whatever podcast could be really effective in combat, more effective than a woman? Holy shit, there's probably women on my block who would be more effective in combat situations than Brian from whatever podcast. What the hell? You didn't get that contract? How about you? Well, that's the problem, right? We didn't consent to the Constitution. I totally agree, especially when they don't follow the Constitution and the contracts that the government signs aren't worth the paper they're written on. Ask the American Indians. You're totally correct about that. But the concept of rights is what I was talking about. But I completely agree with you on that. Yeah, he's been putting on the libs for sure. He is soft. Look at him. He looks like a heavy drinker, man. This guy, I don't know this dude. I just know that every time I see him, he pisses me off because he talks some shit, and he talks just with chopped logic. He talks with bullshit logic every time, and these young boys eat it up. They think that this is you have a duty, and your responsibility to the government is why the government gives you rights. That is not true. That is not at all, not even sort of true. The draft should be illegal. The government should not be able to take any of our boys. In fact, we shouldn't even have the like this military industrial complex like we have. It's completely against our rights. And yet we continue to do it. We keep electing officials who continue to give money to those people because those are the only ones we could vote for, because the same companies that are involved in the military industrial complex are the same people in our government. Or paying the people in our government. Sometimes it's the very same person, like Rex Tillerson and Dick Cheney and them. Yeah, draft Barron. How about we draft Barron?
Men do.
I agree
And
with
thus,
you, but
Personality test. Let's
That's so funny. Like women, I agree with you, Brian. Women shouldn't have the right to vote. I saw this. This woman is called. She's called Michelle from China, 18 Yes. I found out who she was because I used to do a show about activists and stuff, and she is with a guy called Durian Rada. Durian Rada. Is anybody familiar with Durian Rada? He's an Australian, and he named Joey Carbstrong because you keep your what do you say? Keep your something strong. Joey Carbstrong, keep your dong strong. I think that's what he says. Anyway, so we met this woman named Michelle from China, 18 Yes. And they do porn together now. He's a porn person. They do porn. Durian Ryder is now a porn star, I guess. I don't know. But he's like a 60-year-old Australian who is narcissist, weirdo, and he's I don't know, it seems very strange to me that he's with, remember Freely the banana girl? She lives on an island now to be away from him. But if you want, you can watch videos of him having sex with her.
personality test. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. You're dating a bloke that's 60 years old.
The China hat, the rice field hat, also dong strong. Yeah, hashtag keep your dong strong. That's what he said. He says he named Vegan Gains too. He named Freely the banana girl. Just named all these people. He created the vegan movement, which is probably, and I'm starting to believe he's right because the vegan movement sucks so bad.
Mr. Campbell, you sound like a salty ass person. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you are older.
You could tell that's Durian Ryder's house because back when he made a lot of content, he had just boxes and boxes and boxes of shoes. I don't understand why he has so many boxes of shoes, but always so many boxes of shoes in the background.
Than 60. Maybe you're younger, but you sound so salty and jealous. Maybe you need to fix something about yourself, because if you were happy with your life, you wouldn't be on the internet rambling on about other people.
This woman makes me so sad. I don't know why I feel sad for this person. I feel like she's in a situation like Durian Ryder is kind of like famously narcissistic. He's been exposed so many times for doing weird stuff, and now he's got this woman in his thrall. And in her username, it's Michelle from China 18 yes, which means like she's got to be pretty young. I don't know how old this girl is, but she's young, and he's like 60. Which, you know, who am I to judge age gaps? You know, I think over 20 years is a little rough. I think over 20 years is a little. Over 20 years is a little. But that's just me. But he's got her doing porn. So he's making money off of her. I'm sure it's not an even cut. And she's like, shut up. I mean, it's going to ruin her life. What's she going to do after him?
Like, get a life. Get a life. And if you were so lucky to be 60 years old one day, you probably would want someone that makes you happier and makes you feel alive. Okay? So hopefully you become 60 years old.
I mean, sure. I do hope when I'm 60, I have someone that makes me happy and makes me feel alive. I probably won't be forcing her to do pornography. I just don't see that happening when I'm 60. I don't see myself having a person that makes me happy and I'm forcing her to do pornography. You know, I think that's the problem, really. I don't think the age gap is really the issue. If you just make somebody happy, then you don't need to do the porning, you know?
And wise.
Wise. You'll be 60 and wise. I guess that's the wisdom. Maybe I'm lacking the wisdom. What do you think? Am I lacking the wisdom? Perhaps I'm lacking the wisdom. Maybe Durian Ryder is so wise because he knows how to exploit women, and I can't stomach things like that. I couldn't do it, man. I can't even beg a woman to stay with me. I can't even, I'm like, you're free to go. I can't keep you here. I wish you'd stay, but you're free to go. And I will not manipulate you into staying. Is she being forced? Oof. Is she being forced? That's a great question. So there used to be a woman. For a while, I was really into. I was just trying to get fit, you know. So I was watching like high intensity, HIIT, whatever, a high intensity interval training. And there was this person. I forget her name. I think her name was like Shozana or something. And it was she and a guy, and they would do they would do HIIT training, and they'd do like 15-minute little videos, and I was doing them and stuff, and the woman was like, she looked like a commando, she was just all abs, you know. And it turned out, because they were getting famous from their little videos, the home workout I forget what their thing was called, and it turned out that she had done some pictures, some PP videos and stuff like that of her naked doing these things, and it came out because she was getting famous. So all of a sudden somebody dug into her history and they found these things, and she made a statement saying that no woman wants to be in these situations. We end up in these situations, and then we need the money, and so then we do these things that we're not totally comfortable with for the money. And I'm like, that sounds like capitalism to me, honey. Like, that just sounds like capitalism. So I do think when you say forced, right, then we get into this, like, are you forced? Is someone holding a gun to your head? Maybe not. And I have met women when I worked in Vegas. Now, years afterwards, I did meet women that they would live someplace else and travel to Vegas and be prostitutes during big weekends, during big events and stuff like that. Then they go back home and they would live pretty nice lives, not have to work. And that was very common. That was very common in England. People would live out in like the sticks out in Kent or something, and they would travel to London, be prostitutes during when the growing season wasn't good or whatever, and then they would pack up their bags and they would move back home after the season was better. They'd make some money being prostitutes, and they'd go back to where they were. This is an old tradition, right? Oldest profession, all of that. Are those women forced? Marx thinks so. I think they're forced. Is Michelle from China 18 yes? Forced by her 60-year-old husband, boyfriend person named Durian Ryder? Is Durian Ryder famously manipulative, famously narcissistic? Is he forcing her? I mean, to me, I look at it and I think, kinda. And when you get to kinda and you're talking about pornography, I say that's enough. Don't do it. It's kind of like Michael Jackson. Did he diddle children? I don't know. But he admitted to spending the night in bed alone with 9-year-old children. And that's kinda. And that's enough. When it comes to children, kinda is enough to be like, nope. You know what I mean? Kinda's enough. And famous. Well, you know, he was famous. Hey, Jackie Boyle, thank you so much. Guys, some green hearts of courage for Jackie Boyle. Thank you so much, Jackie Boyle. Thank you so much, Jackie Boyle. You're amazing. You're incredible. You're wonderful. Can I get some green hearts of courage for Jackie Boyle? Capitalism forces people to exchange their bodies for money. Exactly, Chai Pixie. I mean, I have considered, especially last month, should I go get a straight job cleaning up something so I can, because should I just take a job, a part-time job doing menial things so that I can continue to do YouTube in California, or should I move and not have to do menial labor for those things? And I'm in a luxurious position where I can like I'm very, very poor right now, but because I have no liquid, but I have assets and I can like sell them now and move someplace far away. And that could be really good for me, you know? And I've thought so much about like, what am I willing to do for money? And when you start asking yourself those questions, it gets real scary real fast. And then you add like parent stuff, or maybe you add a drug addiction or something. What if you add a drug addiction or a green card situation? Or how many things can you add that will make you do worse and worse things for the love of money, or the want for money? I shouldn't say the love of money, the need of money. Start an OF. Yeah. Shit. You think that I haven't thought of that? Of course I've thought of that. Hey, would people pay to watch me masturbate? Of course people ask themselves these, and then you got to be like, no, I'm not willing to do that shit. Or yes, I am willing to do that shit. You got to ask yourself those questions. I mean, when I graduated from university, everyone wanted me to be a lawyer. Be a lawyer, be a lawyer, be a lawyer, get a law degree, get a law degree. And so I took the LSATs and I was thinking about it. I was reading about it. I was going crazy thinking. It was a dilemma, man. It was a huge dilemma in my life. Work for a nonprofit, be poor for the rest of my life. Be a lawyer, be rich. And I'm like, if I become a lawyer and I have to go work for fucking Cargill or Monsanto or, I don't know, some evil corp, because you can't make money being a public defender or being an ACLU lawyer. Everyone thinks you're going to do shit like that. You're not, because you're poor. So, and now you've got debt. You add debt to that, now you're really fucked. Yeah, with kids, the age plays a role. Was this woman doing it against her will? That's what's the thing. What is against your will, right? You get tied up in these situations and you become desperate. Is that against your will? Do you have a gun to your head? Well, your desperation becomes that gun. Who's holding it is society, I suppose. No one's there to help you. If you're down on your luck, you could fall very quickly. Like if my mom didn't have a house, when everything started to fall apart for me, I would have been. So when she died, so it was like that was like the beginning of a big crumbling for me. And if I didn't have some stuff to fall back on, I'd be in the streets. How many people don't have stuff to fall back on and they have a crumbling? They have a life event or a series of life events that crumbles. And then they're in the streets and they can't take care of themselves. They can't keep themselves clean. They can't. Every person in your life that you have, like my friend Chip, every person that you have in life helps you, is a buffer from capitalism. They help you keep yourself clean, keep yourself on track, keep yourself sane. That's how they do it. Those guys have more stuff than I do. More stuff equals more suffering. Yeah, well, shit. You don't. The more things you own, the more they own you. Did you hear about the 36 Republicans voting against banning child marriage? Yes, of course. That would make me sad. It would make me sad, right? It would make me more sad, Jackie. The only way to stop being perverted and manipulated, you got to go find a fucking hell, King James version with the unicorns. King James version, yes. Get the uniform. Get the unicorns out. We need the unicorns. Anyway, that was Michelle from China, 18. Yes, even just like her hat and like her name online, it all seems suspect. Michelle from China, 18. Yes, is her handle. That ain't normal, guys. She's not just with someone that she loves and makes happy, okay? That is not what's happening here.
Okay.
Look at Elon Musk. So, as you notice, they only brought white men to China because of DEI. White men are the only ones that get to go to China now. Because only white men study Chinese history, only white men study the Chinese language, only white men are allowed to go to China for Donald Trump. And one of them's Elon Musk. Look at him. Taking selfies. There he is, mugging for a camera. Isn't he cute? There he goes, the world's first trillionaire, responsible for so many millions of deaths. Murderous human being. There he is with Tim Cook, or Tim Apple, as Donald calls him, the lame duck CEO of Apple. Yes. There he is. Miserable piece of shit. You know, taking selfies with Chinese emissaries. You know, if I were the richest man in the world, I have to say I would be doing cooler shit. I'd be doing cool shit, man. I'd be building cool shit. Like, I wouldn't let it break me. I wouldn't like want to go to Mars or anything. I would want to help people here on planet Earth, you know? I just want to help people on planet Earth. It ain't that crazy. It ain't that crazy. I'd want to pay people a living wage. I would like to have I'd like to build self-sustaining Tesla apartment complexes that have that are free. Poor people can live there for free, and we have cleaning service. We treat them like kings. Treat them like kings, just as a social experiment to see if what'll happen. What would happen if Elon Musk took, I don't know, a few $1 billion and made a state-of-the-art high-rise apartment building for poor people for free? Actually, not even just poor people. Anybody can move in for free. And we'll have cleaning service because we'll have Tesla bots to clean them. We'll have AC, use all the power that you want. It's all free. Let's do it for 10 years. What would happen? What do you think would happen if you took all of your money? Durian Ryder is her daddy. I know. Veganosaur. We talked about it. Swastibots. Like, what would you do? Like, what would happen? But no, he wants to spend money on space and going to China with Donald Trump. There he is with his little minion, his little bulletproof vest. No one will shoot me. No one will shoot me. No one will shoot me. I'm holding a child's hand. No one will shoot me.
So what is this? Is someone asked him to turn the speaker down? Who's it?
Gotta be.
Asmund Gold. How about every possible option to help addicts? I love that idea. How about we do that? We'll have that in the free buildings. The free buildings will be there'll be a hospital in there for addicts. We'll have everything you could possibly need. Positrack. I'll take $50 billion and I would just build a building wherever it's needed most. Maybe Chicago. It's right in the middle of the country. And anybody is allowed to move in for free. They can stay as long as they want, but it's only going to be open for 10 years. I think it'd be great. 10 years is all you get, but you could stay as long as you want, and it's going to be free. We'll have to have some rule. Cockroach King. It's a mindset. Free stuff doesn't change people. They don't care about anything. That's not true. There's lots of examples where they take places where like $10,000 goes a long way, like Africa, and they go to a place in Africa, small town, and they just start giving people $10,000 and they figure out what to do with it by themselves. Some people squander it. It's true. Some people, they're dumb with money. Some people fuck it up and they buy the wrong thing. Some people, but you know what? When they gave people $10,000, a lot of people bought metal roofs for their houses because they realized that a metal roof won't have to be replaced every year. A lot of people invested it in something that they can make money as a business. A lot of people, they got married and had kids because they couldn't before because they had no money. But people used it for themselves. What the normal model is, we give you what we think you need. But that's not right. You know what you need. So if you give someone $10,000 in a place where $10,000 buys a lot, they tend to do very, very well. And here's the real crazy thing. The people who fuck it up and they lose the $10,000, the community helps them out because they all got $10,000. And so the people that fall on their faces, the community of people who don't fall on their faces help them out. And now they start building stuff for each other because they all have enough for a short amount of time. And it lifts up the whole area because they are all thinking about, oh, you get this and I'll get that. And then we can work together to build a better business. Bing bong. And then they thrive. It works. It works over and over and over again too. Now, of course, $10,000 doesn't buy you shit in America, but the concept still works. Don't give people what you think they need. Give them what they need. Just give them the money to buy whatever they need. Give them the option. Yes. No, there's several studies. Look it up. Look it up, God's Gunner. You're the one who evidence. I have proof, lots of proof. Go look it up. There's plenty of proof. You have no proof. You're just saying it would be done because you think that everything's Lord of the Flies, but it's not. Lord of the Flies is bullshit. In fact, there have actually been cases where children have been shipwrecked or end up in situations where there's no parental guidance. They don't start killing each other. They don't form tribes and start going to war. What they actually do is start working together. Because that's what human beings are really good at. The fact that we have cities, way before we had ideas of centralized federal government, we've had cities because we care about each other and we know if we work together that we'll all be safer and that we'll get laid more. That's it. It's very easy. Free rent has been paid for my tenants 100% of the time so far. Helping is relative. I like it. Local company quoted $13K with a caveat of might be more. Yeah, Chai Pixie, I totally hear $10,000 not. But the thing is, like, if they go to other countries where $10,000 gets a lot, like, they can actually do a ton. Yeah. Yeah. They give EBT people $10,000 a month and they buy junk food and pop and they wonder why they're sick and malnourished. That proves a point. No, God's Gunner, that shows that you are stupid because you're blaming the victim. You're blaming the poor rather than blaming the rich who is selling them these things. You're blaming of course you blame the victim because you're not a real Christian. You're anti-Christian. You hate Christ. Christ would never blame the victim. Christ would never blame the homeless, would never blame the impoverished. You do. The impoverished has no choice. They get EBT. What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do if they live in a place where they only have sugary drinks? And also, what are they supposed to do? Not drink sugary drinks? Everyone drinks sugary drinks. Even I barely ever drink sugary drinks, but I do drink sugary drinks. I also eat salty snacks. I don't have any money, so I buy just salty peanuts. But still, I like salty snacks, and so do they. And they don't get $10,000 a month. That's not true at all. They don't. That's all bullshit. Anyway, a lot of them live in places where they can't cook. And so they have to buy ready-made things. And ready-made things are technically usually junk food. Sometimes they only have a hot plate. Sometimes they only have a microwave. Sometimes they're living in shitty hotels. And they don't have either. And so all they can eat is junk food. Because that's the only thing that they can actually prepare. What are they supposed to do? Start a fire in the backyard? Start a fire in the parking lot of their extended stay hotel that they don't have enough money to stand? No, they can't do it. Yeah. Yeah, and EBT has never been that high, of course not. But but it doesn't matter how much EBT is. What's shocking always is how how easily so-called Christians will blame the people who have been betrayed by the system. And those aren't Christians. Christ was a guy who indicted the system, indicted the government, and was killed by the state. That's who Jesus Christ was. But there's all these people like these guys, these fake Christians, false prophets that will come up and blame, they'll blame the blind man. Well, why are you blind in the street? Why are you homeless? I'm blind. I'm homeless. I'm blind in the street. Jesus, helps him cures the blind. But these guys, they won't even lift a finger to help a blind man. They want to lift a finger. Well, you should lift yourself up. It's always the same. Rich people don't go to heaven. That's what Jesus said. Anyway, Asmund Gold's got something to say about black people. Let's see what he's got to say. The Christian Asmund Gold. Is Asmund Gold Christian? I just made that up. I don't know if Asmund. I'm going to ask Google. Does Asmund Gold consider himself Christian? Asmund Gold generally does not identify as a practicing Christian and has expressed skepticism or resentment towards organized Christianity. Okay, I just want to see what he's got to say about this black guy. He's always got bad takes about black people. If you always have bad takes on black people,
you kidding me, boy? This motherfucker got his headphones on. He told me to put my speaker down, and he got his motherfucking headphones on. You out your mind, my man.
Just why do you have to listen to the speaker?
I want to cut you.
Why do you have to listen to the speaker? God, I wish I could do what he does. That's how he's famous, right? Why does he have to listen to a speaker? It is annoying, people on subways listening to their fucking speakers, man. When I used to work in Vegas, man, people come into the bars with their speaker on. It's like, man, we have house music going on. Put your fucking speaker off or leave. What are you doing? Bring your speaker. But I don't know. I always kind of like it that black people bring the party wherever they go. I think it's kind of fun. I get to hear music I never heard before. I'm not that bothered by people with their speakers. I don't care. It's a short trip. It's a short trip on the subway. I'm not going to be on this car for an hour.
So shut your fucking mouth then. So shut your mouth then. Mind your business, you bitch. Why you have to jump out there? You got headphones on.
He's literally just trying to read a book.
Okay, so this is always the problem with people like Asmund Gold who have never worked in the industry, never worked with people. The truth is, people lose their shit pretty frequently. I remember I would tell people stories of the horror stories that I've experienced in all of my years in the food and beverage and hospitality industry, and people would be like, that doesn't happen. How could people be so unreasonable? It's like, no, every day I run into someone just like this guy in the subway. And the truth is, a huge percentage, some people say up to 40%, but let's keep it at like 10% or 20% of people in America have mental health issues. People ain't doing okay. And so if you are in an industry where you're going to be forced to interact with 1,000 people, let's say, and usually it's far more than that for people like the jobs that I had, I was interacting with sometimes 10,000 people in a day. My chances of encountering someone whose cheese had slipped off their cracker is quite high. The chances are really high that I'm going to interact with someone like this. So I've had lots of experience with people like, what do you mean I got to turn on my speaker? Like people freaking out. I've been around it a lot. How do you deal with it? Let's see how it plays out.
Just trying to read.
Bitch. What, you think I was a punk or something? Yeah, that's the best thing you better do. Move, you bitch ass mother.
Look at this woman, so smart. She's like, look, let's just get up and go. And at first I'm like, is she with this guy?
Remember what I said before about how like anybody that has this crash out over being perceived of being disrespected, just lock them up. Just institutionalize them immediately.
Institutionalize them immediately. Yeah, where should we institutionalize them, Asmund Gold? Where shall we put them? I love this shit. Institutionalize them immediately. Okay, great. Would you like an increase in your taxes, sir? Because it used to be we taxed corporations and rich people in order to pay for institutionalizing these types of people. But Reagan kicked out all those people and never let them back in. Of course, this guy's too young to have been kicked out by Reagan. The point is that those places were closed. Reagan kicked all the people out and closed them. And you know who kept doing shit like that? Bill Clinton. So when people tell me, oh, the Republicans are so different than the Democrats, the Republicans are mean like Reagan and Democrats are nice like Clinton. Clinton balanced the budget by taking your money and not giving you the services that were promised. That's how that worked. It wasn't some miracle. Oh, he balanced the budget. Yeah, he balanced the budget by taking your money and not giving you the goods. So that now, in the tradition of Reagan, continued, we now have people on subway cars losing their shit. We have people in restaurants losing their shit. We have people in Walmart losing their shit. We have people going into schools with armed people going into schools and losing their shit because these people have no place to go. And even if somebody notices, hey, that guy's talking a lot about shooting up a school, that guy's talking a lot about losing his shit on subway cars, maybe we should do something. There's nothing to do. What should we do? There's nothing to do. You can't arrest them because they haven't broken any laws. You can't put them into an institution because they are a menace, because we don't have institutions. The prisons are the asylums now. And those are ill-equipped. And so then you go into an then you're just an innocent person in jail, which is very, very common in America. You plead guilty because you don't think that the state's going to give you a fair shake. And so you go and you're surrounded by fucking crazy people. So you might end up crazy yourself or dead in prison. He didn't want to add any more to the debt while also cheating more fractional banking. That's it. Doesn't want to add to that. Because here's what Republicans do. They say, we're cutting taxes. And then they're like, but we're not going to cut your services. So what do? We're not going to spend the money of your taxes. So what do? Well, what would you do? If you don't have the money coming in, but you want to keep the stuff that you got, you borrow. You borrow money from somebody else. And that's how you end up in debt. That's why traditionally Republicans raise the debt, because what they want to do, tax cuts are very popular, but cutting services is very unpopular. And they'll leave that to the Democrats, because the Democrats will be like, well, we can do the fucking mealy mouth it, and they'll take all the hits. The Republicans will cut taxes and be heroes. You! But we're still going to give you all the shit. How are you going to do it? We're going to borrow. You! Fuck the future generations. We're boomers, baby. Baby boomers, man. Fuck the future generations. They'll have to pay the debt. What do we care? We don't care. So, the Democrats will be like, well, we're going to keep taxing you. So that's unpopular. But we're also going to cut your services, which is also unpopular. But we'll balance the budget, so you'll feel good, right? Yeah, everyone loves Bill Clinton.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do.
Uh-huh.
That's what you better do. Yeah. Yeah.
See, they're not together.
You don't want no drama with me, motherfucker. I'll cut your face open. Are you serious? You gonna tell me to put my speaker down?
Isn't it crazy how easy this problem would be to solve? And
yeah, it could be easily solved if we had institutions. See, Asmongold's a fucking moron. Asmongold's like, it'd be so easy, just kill everybody. Final solution. Yeah, it's cool. Just shoot him. I'm surprised he hasn't said, let's shoot him. Do you think he's going to say shoot him?
we don't do it.
I'll cut your face, fat. You know
This. How do I make? I need to make that face more. You know what? I didn't really grow up around white people as much, so I never really learned how to do that face. I see white people do it all the time, and I feel like I should do it more often. Like they make their upper lip really long. I want to do that. Osmond Gold. You hate Osmond Gold so much. Yeah, he's a garbage human. But people love him because he says stupid stuff like this. Have a sincere smile. Is that what he has? That's not a sincere. Well, no, he's scoffing. That's just scoffing. That's not a sincere smile.
Right, miss?
Why? Because he's reading a book?
Yeah, so what you gotta mind your business then? Mind your business then! Mind your business then! Call the cops then! Call the cops, stupid bitch! F you! Suck my dick! Whoever want with me, let me know. I'm ready.
Isn't it they crave violence? Like these.
They crave violence. What does he mean by they? Who's they in that? They crave violence. They crave violence. This is clearly a person having an episode, right? Normal people don't behave this way. People who are on their meds don't behave this way. People who are well adjusted to society, people having a good day don't behave this way. People who are well nourished don't behave this way. This is the problem. When it starts to crumble for you, you lose somebody, usually a mom or a dad. You lose some family member. You lose a job. So now you're not able to take care of yourself as well. You don't have family to help you keep it all at bay. You stop losing the ability to feed yourself, so you have no nutrition, so you start getting angry. You know how it is. You get hangry, don't you? Sometimes you're hangry, even if you're not even hungry, you just eat bad food, you get hangry, you know? It affects your mood. And you do that for a little while, and you start losing your shit, and all you have is this little speaker. That's all you have is this little speaker. And this speaker is how you listen to music. And then somebody tells you, please turn it down. And you are not prepared for that because you have gone insane. This guy's gone insane. He's not okay. He's not just craving violence. He's not a rational person craving violence. He's not a rational agent at all. He's a person losing his shit on the subway in the greatest prison facility ever invented, New York City. Yeah, Waffle Jackson. That was a joke. That there's the age-old Chris Rock bit. Yeah, there's black people and there's N-words. Yeah, that's a joke from a stand-up comedian. They're spinning. I remember that. Yeah. N-words love not to know what's the capital of Zaire and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was a funny bit. It's probably still pretty funny. I don't know, but Chris Rock, it was just a joke. That's not something you should base your reality on. It's just a joke that Chris Rock told, and it was funny at the time. It's probably still funny. I don't know. Usually comedy has a short shelf life, but it was pretty good. You know, Chris Rock was funny, man. I remember watching that special that he did. I was laughing. I couldn't keep my breath in my body because I was laughing so hard at Chris Rock. But that was a long time ago, and it was just jokes, you know.
These people are animals. The sooner we realize
these people are animals and crave violence. You see this? These people are animals and crave violence. That is Nazi language. That's what the Nazis say. These people are animals and they crave violence. They're not like us. In fact, they're exactly like us. They just have failed. They slipped. They fell. Have you never slipped and fallen? I hope that you don't ever, Asmund Gold, because you would be crucified. They will hate you. People hate you, brother. People hate you, Asmund Gold. If Asmund Gold was really caught slipping, something bad comes out about you, they'll chop your head off, man. People hate you. I hope nothing ever really bad happens to you. I hope you don't lose anybody. Sometimes you base your whole life on somebody and then you lose them. Fucks up your whole worldview, man.
That the sooner everybody else can live in peace. The problem is that too many of these people that are on the subway are not okay with my solution to this problem.
Oh, here we go. What's your solution, Asmund Gold? Okay, let's hear Asmund Gold's final solution. Can't wait.
This is a crazy nutball that's running around talking about stabbing and killing people.
Yeah,
you need to arrest,
True.
institutionalize,
Okay.
and if they get violent, incapacitate them or shoot them.
There you go. That's it. So arrest. Can't arrest him because he's not breaking the law. Maybe disturbing the peace, but you're probably not going to put him in handcuffs. Institutionalized, we don't have institutions. Those are gone. I don't know what you're fucking talking about. Institutionalize them. Like, that's how stupid Asmongold is. Doesn't realize that there's no place to institutionalize them, you stupid asshole. Okay, or incapacitate them. I don't know what that means. Tasing? Is that tasing? And if they get violent, shoot them. So what normally happens is that we just skip to the last one, Asmongold. We just skip to the last one. These people are animals. They're violent. Shoot them. You've heard him say it. He said it right here. These people are violent. They crave violence. They're animals. They should be arrested. Can't do it. They should be institutionalized. Can't do it. Incapacitated. I don't know what that means. Kind of. Or shoot them. So shooting is what we should do. Asmongold is a Nazi. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Asmongold is a crypto-fascist. That's all.
That's what you need to do. That's really the problem, is that not enough
That's really the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem.
people will accept my solution to this problem.
The problem is most people don't accept the final solution, which is kill the blacks.
I think that there will be a critical mass of dysfunction, and eventually it will go away. There's a reason.
That's exactly how the fascist works. You create a critical mass of dysfunction, or in other words, you break the system and cause chaos. So they beg the state for order. That's the fascist handbook. You break the TSA so that we beg you to open up the TSA again, but they're like, fuck, the TSA is to blame. It's their problem. They went on strike. And so since you broke the TSA, now you pay a monthly subscription service to Clear, and you pay a monthly subscription service to your airport, and you pay a private company to pass through the gates at the airport because the government is no longer providing that service. They're still taking your tax money, but they're not providing that service anymore. So now they're still taking your tax money, and you're paying, let's call it Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, for the the essential services that you need at the airport. They broke the system, and now they're going to charge you for it because you need order. You need some semblance of order. We had it. You dismantled it. Now you can sell it. And that's what Asmongold is talking about. That's what Mussolini talked about when he said it's corporatism, not fascism. He doesn't like the word. The guy who named fascism didn't like the name fascism. Corporatism is what Mussolini called it. And that's what it is.
Why this doesn't happen in China. I wonder if this is happening in Dubai. Geez, guys. This is such an easy problem.
Dubai is a perfect place to compare us to. Yes, let's compare us to Dubai. A place where kings and queens and the rich are to be worshipped. Perfect. See, Asmongold hates freedom. He hates liberty because it's a little messy sometimes. And yes, we do need more order, but order comes through compassion or under a boot heel. Which you prefer? That's essentially what you're asking, right? Every time we talk about this. Do you prefer order by being beaten in the head, and you'll catch some beatings? Do you prefer order by watching people getting their heads caved in the streets when they get out of line? Do you prefer order by getting people's heads chopped off in the streets like they do in Saudi Arabia? Do you prefer order by putting people in dark holes and pissing on them and torturing them? Or do you prefer order by institutionalizing people because they need help and putting them someplace where they can get help, the help that they need, and being treated like human beings? Which do you prefer? That's really the question. We have the money for both. Because both solutions cost a lot of money. So fuck you if you're going to be like, well, it costs too much money to put someone in a insane asylum. No, it doesn't. That's not true. Not true at all. Violence costs money too. It costs money to arm people and all that. Arm people, train people. You like guillotines. What kind of guillotines? Because don't forget, Robespierre also was killed by a guillotine. Sophie Scholl was killed by a guillotine. The government started the guillotine thing. The governments of the world used guillotines to kill people who spoke out against the government. But then the people woke up and said, we can use guillotines too. The monopoly on violence that the state occupies holds is nasty business. What did the French Revolution accomplish? Quite a bit. I mean, it was a bloodbath, and you had to deal with, fucking Napoleon for 50 years. But after that, I mean, it did suck for a while. But they got rid of the kings, and they have a tradition of workers' rights in France that has lasted 250 years. So, not all bad. I mean, a lot, actually. Shit that gave us the metric system. All sorts of cool shit happened because of the French Revolution. Lots of good things happened for the French Revolution. Unfortunately, first you had to have a bloodbath. Do you want a bloodbath? That's where you get into problems. Yeah. Do you want a bloodbath?
Problem to solve, but people don't want to solve it. That's the
People do want to solve it. They're begging to solve it, actually. But their government has let them down, Asmongold, and people like you are letting down everyone as well.
issue.
This is what physical game collectors were trying to warn you.
Man, Sky moved to Mexico City. They get Christmas pay. The Anical, I'm coming up. I'm glad you're here because we're coming up on some of the stuff that you sent me. Thank you. The wealthy got the message. There you go. The wealthy did get the message for a long time, didn't they? They have a constitution. Unfortunately, the French Revolution, it got to the point where the people leading the French Revolution all got murdered, and then the rabble had to go murder all the rich, and so you had like kind of a vacuum. Kind of sucks when you kill all the people at the top. You get this vacuum that kind of. Well, if Asmongold is a conservative, why does he only collab with progressives? What is this conservative shit? Conservative? Who said conservative? What is a conservative? What is a progressive? What are you fucking talking about?
Anthem just went fully offline. That means even if you own a physical copy of that game, it won't work anymore. And to be fair, Anthem wasn't a legendary release, but some people still paid full price for that game on release day and bought a hard copy. And that hard copy still will not work anymore. When I say physical game, I mean actual game data that lives on a disc or cartridge. Most physical releases nowadays don't do that anymore. You are renting access to data that lives on a server inside of a marketplace that you have no control over. And that's why game key cards on the Nintendo Switch 2 are such an issue.
That's weird, man. I think this is like a canary in a coal mine type of situation, and so many gamers they see this happening and they don't realize that, right? They have a front row ticket to see where the world's going. The world is going more and more towards this model. Everything is a toll booth. Everything is a ticket, a subscription service. That's everything from now on. We are owned by them. If you want to play a video game, well, you have to rent access. You want to be a graphic designer, you have to rent access to the software that is needed. You want to be a music producer, you have to rent access. You have to have a monthly subscription service in order to be a music producer now. I'm hoping we'll go back to like more of an analog world. I really do. The owners allow you to rent everything. Yeah, that's it. They'll rent everything. Ownership is gonzo. We'll live in a world where we own nothing. A conservative knows how to ride a horse and run a chainsaw. Is that what a conservative knows how to do? I don't think most conservatives know how to do that. Most conservatives are soft. Every time I see a conservative, like all these billionaires, you think they know how to run chainsaws? What is a conservative now? Is Donald Trump conservative? Mr. 3 wives, cheated on all of them, rapes children, buys and sells kids. Is that a conservative? Then count me out. I'm conservative. I'm a gun owner. I believe in self-reliance. I believe in learning how to do things on your own. I think you should cut your own hair and mow your own lawn, do your own laundry, do your own dishes. But the conservatives don't believe that anymore. I think that's what conservatism is. How is Asmongold a conservative? Where do you guys get this idea of what is a conservative? Let me know in the chat what you think a conservative is. If it's chainsaws and horses, then I'm in, because I'm against riding horses, but I do know how to ride a horse. I grew up around horses. It's a weird thing. Like, I grew up in LA, but my mom had was really into horses before I was born, so she made sure I was around horses as much as possible. And then when I moved away, she bought a horse. She had a horse. Like as soon as her kids were out of the house, she bought a horse. She's like, "Fuck it! Finally that my kids are done and they're out of the house, I can have a horse again. I don't have to feed kids anymore. I can feed this horse." So I mean, I don't know, man. That conservative, knowing how to ride a horse, MAGA wearing a pink dress is conservative. Stop. You own your own house? Yeah, exactly. That's fair enough. You're right. 54% of Republican men think Trump is physically stronger than themselves. Oh, shit. The Anacle. That is so funny. I love that. 54% of Republican men think that Trump is stronger than them. He thinks that too. Could I take Elvis in a fight? No, you could not take Elvis in a fight. Donald Trump is so stupid. Elvis, even though he died kind of thick, in his Vegas years, he was doing 4 shows a night. 4 shows. Can you imagine doing 4 shows? Those guys back then were built different, man. Like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, they used to do 5 shows a night. What the fuck? When I worked in Vegas, there was this guy named David Copperfield who did 2 shows a night. And he's in the world record. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records for doing more shows than any solitary performer. More stage shows than any performer in history. Because he just is he's crazy. Like, I know he's also in the Epstein files, but he's crazy. David Copperfield. And on Sundays, he'd do 3 shows. He'd do 2 shows every night. Sunday, he'd do 3 shows. Crazy. And then during the busy season, there wouldn't even be a dark day. He wouldn't even take a day off. And Donald Trump thinks that he's stronger than Elvis. Elvis, yeah.
Because they're new. Microsoft has been quietly releasing games that aren't truly physical for years, and nobody really batted an eye. The issue is that they're slowly training you to accept the fact that you will eventually lose access to the things you think.
39% of Republicans believe that they would lose a physical fight to 79-year-old Trump. That is so funny. Am I supposed to be afraid? Am I supposed to be afraid of conservative men? Of Republicans? That's what Republicans think? Holy shit, dude. That is so funny. He made 13-year-olds disappear. I know, man. I don't want to talk about it. It's so sad. When I was a kid, I thought David Copperfield was so cool. And then I got to meet him. And my office, so in Vegas, in MGM, we had several offices, but like the busy office, like our central in the middle of the casino office, was right behind the backstage area of the David Copperfield Theater. So like he would be around, and like I met him a bunch of times, and I met all of his stagehands were very cool. All the people that were like helping him do all the show and stuff were really cool people, and they would come to my bars afterwards. We'd talk about magic and shit. I'm really quite sad that it turned out that I didn't really know David Copperfield, but I met him a couple times. But sad. It's disgusting. Probably because they wouldn't fight back. Cucks and simps. Oh, that's why they think that. They think because they'll be licking the boot, they'll be like, well, he just needs to step on my face. So, I mean, of course Donald Trump would win in a fight. Anyway, gamers are getting screwed.
Because unfortunately, these companies know that once you're locked into a closed ecosystem, there's no resale pressure. There's no supply and demand. There is definitely no preservation. There is only terms of service. And it is wild to me that in a community full of supposedly tech-literate people, that no one would ever stop and apply the phrase, "You will own nothing and you will be happy," to their own hobbies.
That is so scary to me. It's scary to me to think that so many people are okay with this and they're seeing it happen, and the people that are on the front lines, the people that are the tech savvy ones, they're just allowing it to happen. And that's wild to me, because it used to be, and I'm not I do gamer stuff, but I'm not like so in the community, you know. I'm just kind of. Anyway, when I was a kid and I played Nintendo games, you could sell that Nintendo game back for less money and buy. If you get like 5, you might have enough money to buy a new game. That was pretty cool. You could sell that game and people could plug it in and play that game. Those days are over. No more. So the money I give you is gone. This is the renter economy. And guess what? Everything's like that now. You're not going to be able to buy a house. You'll just have to rent it from the bosses and be happy that you're able to rent it, because otherwise you'll be homeless. When you're done and you want to move, that's great. You can't take the house with you, and you don't own the house, so you won't be able to sell it. It'll just be rented to the next person. The companies own everything. Jeff Bezos will own your house. Jeff Bezos probably already owns a piece of your house if you pay a mortgage, and if you pay rent, he probably owns a piece of that company too. So you're already likely paying Jeff Bezos to some degree, even if you're out of Prime and you don't use Amazon. Crazy, right? Speaking of Amazon, here's Walmart. And they're so good at it that, okay, but they give us such good service. Thank God for them. Thank God for places like Walmart, right?
Delivery that he'll never forget.
This is insane.
It's left him flabbergasted. Look at all those boxes. It came in a shipment from Walmart.
What do you think's in the boxes, everybody? This guy bought a bunch of something. What do you think's in the boxes? Let me know in the chat real quickly. Guess what are in all of these hundreds of boxes that this guy got from Walmart? He bought hundreds of something. It's all the same thing. What do you think's in the box? Is it Gwyneth Paltrow's head? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Sorry, from 7. I'm sorry. What's in the box? Laptops? You think he bought hundreds of laptops? Wow. Toilet paper? Good guess. Good guess. Thank you. Someone got the 7 quote. Thank you. What's in the box? Epstein files. That's what's in the box. No, there's not enough boxes. They need millions of boxes for the Epstein files. Can't even own self-driving anymore. Rent only. That's it. Fun noodles. What's a fun noodle? Renting is just slavery to a master. Servers to mine Melania coin. Yes! Buy Melania coin! It's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. If you believe in Donald Trump, you buy Melania coin. Drones, good. Is he buying hundreds of drones? Let's see who gets it. Let's see who gets it. I think, let me see. Paper? No. Bitcoin? No. No. Stink fingers. It's a bunch of fun noodles for floating in a pool. Rochelle must have seen this. It is.
Just outside
It's
Dayton,
fun
Ohio.
noodles.
So, what's in each giant box? The answer will surprise you. Foam swimming noodles, but just one, as in one in each box.
One pool noodle each. What are we doing? And it's all one order with the exact same item.
Cut down the Amazon for this. I mean, forget about... Why would you... Look at his house. It looks like Durian Ryder's house, except with just boxes and boxes and looks like Durian Ryder's house.
165 boxes were delivered the first day.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And 75 came the next day. A grand total of
The FedEx driver had to... Jesus Christ.
240 boxes.
This is what we're paying for. Oh, look, he's got some right here how they normally come. That makes sense.
They're not
Is he going swimming? Why is he doing this?
for swimming. Matthew Bright cuts them up and uses the pieces as packing material for antique cookware.
Oh, antique cookware. There's a big market for that? I mean, this guy's just trying to make a living selling antique cookware. Oh, poor guy. I'm just selling antique cookware over here, and I can't even do that because these fucking companies can't get the pool noodles to me in a normal way. All I'm trying to do is sell antique cookware over here. God damn it.
Is this like the wackiest thing that's ever happened to you?
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
This is one instance where it's okay for the delivery guy to throw the boxes from the truck. He wasn't going to break anything.
If you can
just keep an eye on these workers. It's okay for the delivery. It's okay. This is one case where this exploited worker is allowed to throw this shit.
throw them and it's not a big deal.
While we were talking, Walmart
It's always okay to throw it. Just throw it. FedEx, just throw this shit, man. If they don't pack it right, fuck it, throw it. Well, I don't know why people are always so worried about the FedEx. Throw that shit. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I don't know. My dildo might be broken when it arrives at my house if they throw it. Then they should have fucking packed it better. You know, throw that shit. This is the 21st century. We're sending people to. We got an SUV on Mars that we sent there, and we just dropped it. They put like pool noodles around it, and they just dropped it on Mars. It bounced a couple times, and then it drove away just fine. If we can accomplish that, we could shoot a bullet carrying an SUV to Mars. It falls out of the sky, hits the ground, full impact, no air, no parachutes, nothing, bounces, and the thing drives away. If you could do that, they can deliver your dildos and iPhone cases without. They throw it, just throw it. Should have used more dildo. Should have used more pool noodles to pack that dildo. But hey, most people. I read this article once about a person who worked at one of these third-party distribution centers for Amazon, and it's like the overwhelming majority of shit that they're delivering are like some kind of dildo product and iPhone cases or iPad cases, some kind of peripheral thing for phones and iPods. So it's like they could throw all that. Throw it. Don't even stop the car. Just throw it like they do, like in Paperboy. Just throw that shit. But what if they break my dildo? They're not going to break your dildo. You'll be fine.
Walmart called, and he had a few words for them.
Yeah, kind of how silly their shipping process is when their website says that they're about protecting the environment and reducing packaging and product waste.
That was dumb.
They were probably packaged. Were they packaged in China? My guess is what happened was they ran out of the ones that were by bulk, and this guy bought so many. They're like, because here's how I think this went down, because I've had to make these decisions when I was a manager, and it's like you get an order for something, and you run out of this guy buys 1,000 pool noodles, right? What they say was like 300 or something, and you don't have any more of the bulk boxes where they're all stuffed in. So you're like, yeah, but we got all these loose ones, and he's got to make a decision. Do I wait until I get them repackaged, or do I just send them out? And you're like, well, I have the labor. I'm gonna pay this labor the same. I have to pay the labor anyway. I got these boxes. And the cost of shipping them is going to be the same because it's by weight. So, problem solver, pack them all up. Well, how many can we put in a box? Well, if we do 2 in a box, someone's going to fuck it up. So, you just do 1 per box, because then no one can fuck it up. Because you've got now 50 people putting all the boxes. If you got 50 people putting shit in boxes and only 1 goes in each box, then you can get it done in 10 minutes and send it out and get it there on time. Because if they didn't get it there on time, the guy would be complaining about that, right? And you don't want to hear complaints about a guy going, so complaining that they got there in so many boxes is a lot better than, oh, I didn't get them in time. So that's what I think happened. I just think it's funny. Anyway. I think it's. I want
to see a piece of this. Bear with me.
I think it's especially funny because of a world where I need pool noodles to pack antique. Fuck. I live in a world where a guy needs pool noodles to pack antique cookware so that they can deliver it as a business to people all over who want cookware that's antique. Because it's better than all the cookware that you can buy on Amazon or at Walmart. You got to buy antique stuff. Great. Cool. Fuck. And yet Walmart exists. And Walmart exists in order to deliver the pool noodles. And they own everything. Great. Cool. That's the world I live in.
This is the New Darkness from Jim Brewer's Bruniverse. Huh? He's not buying it.
Somebody gave me this. I think the Anacle sent this to me. I need to speed this guy up. God, man, I can't stand. Why do these guys talk so fucking slow?
They left out the most important word on purpose. There's one word missing that would have made him feel better about.
Like, I'm sorry. I watch my shit when I come back. Like, I have to watch myself when I edit these things, and like, I don't talk this fucking slow. Why are all these guys talking so slow? They got lead poisoning or some shit? Does this guy have lead poisoning? Who is this guy? What's this guy's name? Hal Sparks. Does Hal Sparks have a? Why is he going so slow? I don't get it.
The whole thing, and they took it out.
I think as Mark Twain said, that you can either be uninformed by not listening to the news, or you can be misinformed by listening to listening to the news.
Right.
So this is something where you got a voice in.
Hey, that's exactly what the Honest Outer always says about me. Always says, you know, you can, if you listen to the news, you're dumber than someone who doesn't listen to the news. Mark Twain, Thomas Jefferson, who said it?
In some of these places, let's call them like.
Or you could check multiple sources against each other and make sure you have a clear picture of what's going on as best you can. And I mean, that's a cute thing to say, but when Mark Twain was around, it wasn't like there was a huge system.
Hey, thank you very much. What's that? The speeding is more painful, but your commentary is good. Thank you. I don't know, but I'm never going to be as famous as Hal Sparks, apparently. Hal Sparks is always going to be more famous than I am because he talks more slowly, I guess. He talks more pauses between his words so that people can follow him. Is that what people want? I don't know. I'm just not for all markets, man. I'm just never going to be successful at this game. I'm just going to keep trying, keep showing up.
Some, you know, like of journalistic integrity in the country.
Conspiracy theory. Yeah. That you
also, there's a conspiracy to turn your lights off, I think.
You speak into.
Yeah. This guy's probably selling antique cooking stuff because he's afraid to go to the hospital because of bills. He's probably doing stuff like that. He's selling antique cooking stuff because somehow he fell into it, and now this is now he knows antique cooking stuff and he sells it online. I mean, he probably lives out in the Ozarks and he knows how to read eBay and buy stuff for cheap and resell. He's doing retail arbitrage essentially. A lot of people are doing that, selling old people's shit. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I got a bunch of my mom's old stuff. I'm literally going to pay a company to come in, go through it all, photograph it all, put it all on the web, put it all through an auction, not eBay, another auction thing. And then they're going to pack it up and they're going to be here and move all that shit for when people come to pick it up. And the price that I have to pay them will be offset by the stuff that they sell. So at the end of the day, I'll probably not make 1 penny off of any of it. What a great business, huh? What a great business. My mom collected this shit her whole life. I don't have the time or the inclination to go through it all and figure out what it all costs and put it online and have bidders bid on it and deliver it and have movers come over and move the shit. I don't have all of that. So she does it, and she's going to make all the money, and I'm going to have nothing. Except time, I guess.
Yeah, like, what is one that you feel like today?
What's the big conspiracy theory that you think that today is something?
We as a nation or something, we're duped in it. And
we're duped into false idols.
Well, I mean, I think maybe the people who worship those idols as graven images of their gods would disagree. Also, I'm guessing he's going to go with celebrities that made it as opposed to him.
And the false idol is nation.
Wow. So fuck America. Okay. Flags.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Fuck America. I'm with Jim Brewer. What's so bad about that? Yeah. Nation. That's a false idol. Totally. Got that works. That works, right? That works.
All that shit just right out the window.
Governors.
Sorry. Nation governors are false idols. We apparently worship governors now.
Yes, you do.
Nation. Governors.
Okay.
I think he means government.
He means government leaders, I think.
What the fuck is with the audio on this?
Nation.
I don't know why, but the audio on this is dropping.
Governors.
There we go.
Senators. Presidents.
Yeah.
We feel.
Oh, do we? Oh, please tell us all how we feel.
They are our saviors.
What? Sorry, you really believe that?
Yeah, I think most people do believe that. They think that their senators and governors and all those can take care of the business. The state can do everything for them, and they don't have to do anything. They just worship the state. Yeah, that probably happens. I only worship my dog. False noodles. What? So Hal Sparks, what is Hal Sparks? I need to ask, like, what is Hal Sparks, like, political point of view. What is Hal Sparks? An American actor, comedian, musician, television person, known for his roles in television and film. Really? I don't know who this guy is. He was in Queer as Folk, Donald Davenport, Disney XD series Lab Rats, and his role in film Dudes Where's My Car. He was in Dude Where's My Car. I love that movie. Hosted an Emmy. Is he a musician? Political commentator. He hosts a show on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and other platforms called The Stephanie Miller. What the hell? What is this thing? He's known for being straight edge individual, no alcohol, smoking, or drugs, and is a practitioner of martial arts. What's his political perspective? What is it? I'm guessing is he full Nazi yet? Oh, he calls himself a left wing. Okay. He's left wing? This guy ain't left wing.
You can be the most trenched in man of Jesus.
The most trenched in man of Jesus. That's one of my favorite Zechariah Sitchin novels.
You can be the holiest of holy.
I don't think you can. I really don't.
Jim Brewer Jim Brewer was in Up in Smoke, I think. No, not Up in Smoke. What was the one where he was like baked? He was in Half Baked.
Because I'm if I know my hymns well, I think Jesus is that person, and
this guy's a liberal.
But you will still be
fall short of the kingdom of heaven
under the voodoo of people in the public eye, whether
sorry. So Trump, what he's getting to, I think, is starstruck by Netanyahu.
they're a politician,
I think that Trump probably is beholden to Benjamin Netanyahu, but most people in this country seem to be beholden to the president. They're starstruck by the president. I mean, even I, who don't like presidents, I mean, when I met George W. Bush, I was kind of starstruck. You know, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, I met so many famous people in my life, and I thought that was kind of cool to meet George W. Bush. I thought it was kind of cool. I met James Comey. I thought that was kind of cool. I never met Donald Trump, but I've only met one president, you know. It's kind of cool. I mean, not everyone gets to meet the president. I don't know. I don't think should be worshipped. I hate George W. Bush, but it's kind of cool to meet him. I mean, I met Michael Jackson a bunch of times too. I mean, it's kind of cool to meet him. I think Michael Jackson's a bad dude. Still pretty cool to meet him.
favorite political party, your favorite pop star, whoever it is.
What's my opinion on Jim Brewer? I don't know if I have an opinion on Jim Brewer, Positrack. Am I supposed to have an opinion on Jim Brewer? I don't know. I'm just watching this Hal Sparks thing because the Anacles sent it to me to react to. But I mean, I don't know who Hal Sparks is, and I don't know that much about Jim Brewer, except he was in that movie about smoking weed. He told this funny joke where he goes, "What's this?" And so everyone goes, "I don't know what it is." "I don't know, but 4 more are coming." He does some joke like that. He does funny, like, silly stoner comedy, right? I just thought he's just a stoner comedy.
You will blindly follow that.
What? The amount of projection is magnificent, but can you imagine being this dismissive of every other human on the planet? This is Glenn Beck level, like,
Is Jim Brewer a conservative or something? I think he's right. Like, don't worship the state.
Intellectual self-aggrandizement. You can. Everybody.
He's
in
a MAGger?
society.
Oh, no.
You guys, you'll just blindly follow whatever pop star or your governor or your senator and do whatever they say, and you have no control over your thoughts, and you'll deify them. Not me, of course. I'm above all that. I don't have that problem.
It seems like you're both guilty of that then. If he's a MAGger and this guy's saying like, oh, y'all throw out all the flags, huh? What, you can't worship the American government? What the fuck? I mean, what is Hal? It's so funny watching this. I thought that Hal Sparks was the Republican and that Jim Brewer was the liberal. I thought Jim Brewer was the liberal and Hal Sparks was the MAGger. But you guys are telling me that Hal Sparks is the liberal and Jim Brewer's the MAGger? That just goes to show these guys are the same. I say it all the time. These like Republicans and Democrats and liberals, they're all the same. Hey, let's hear out the Nazis one last time. Let's see if we get it right this time. Let's try some Nazism one last time. Let's try some fascism one more time. All opinions are valid. Let's have everyone have a seat at the table. What about these alt-right people, sir? Well, they're just another marginalized community. Let's hear them out. Well, alt-right is just a code for neo-Nazi. That's okay. Those are marginalized communities as well. Let's have the neo-Nazis come sit at the table. Let's hear them out. After all, this is the marketplace of ideas. If it's not a good idea, then it won't work, and we won't ever go down that road again. And yet every time we keep going down that road, all roads seem to lead to fascism, horseshoe theory. Yes. Hal Sparks is probably a right centrist, partial realist. The Anacle, you're the one who sent this to me. Why did you send this to me? I'd love to know. Liberal, why can't we worship Trump? Yes, exactly. Thank you, Natty Shiro. The liberal Hal Sparks is like, why can't we worship the state? Yeah, but he probably has a problem with Jesus. He doesn't like worshiping Jesus, but he'll worship the flag. I mean, a couple seconds in, I'm kind of with Jim Brewer so far, but you guys are telling me he's a magger, so I don't know.
Anymore because Trump turned out to be exactly who they said he was. And so it's expecting this asshole to come clean about his support of the guy is, I mean, a fool's errand.
To the point where you're willing to sacrifice your morals. Yeah, we should kill.
Sorry, which pop stars are you listening to?
It's a good thing to hurt these.
He didn't say pop stars. He said politicians so far.
Individuals in this nation and these people. They sell you.
Good God. Like, listen to this asshole, like, inflate his fucking self. See, they do this so that you'll do that because you don't know that they're doing this to you and you just blindly are sucked into their tractor beam. So they're like, if you're a big fan of,
Donald Trump,
Aerosmith, and you're like, listen to them, and then one day they're like, I think we should kill everyone in Iraq. And you're like, yes, sir. Because you don't know. You don't.
Well, yeah, I think that happens a lot. I think there's a lot of people who are involved, these fucking celebrities. Take any of these celebrities. Take P. Diddy. You tell me that he didn't have a lot of influence on people? I mean, a lot of these politicians are in cahoots with celebrity. They're basically working hand in glove all the time. There's a reason why so many people hate Muslims and are afraid of Muslims. So that's propaganda. Propaganda requires celebrity endorsement. So they're in on it. Jay-Z, these fucking pedophile, philandering assholes. Jay-Z, I used to love Jay-Z. Of course he's a fucking, he's a billionaire and it's all above board. No way, man. He's not above board. He's a sinister villain. He's in on it. Nicki Minaj? Like, what do you mean? Like, yes, celebrities play a role. I don't know. Like, I don't know that there's people that are like, Justin Bieber says, kill the president, I'm going to do it. But that's not really what I think Jim Brewer's talking about, that the cult of celebrity is powerful and that propaganda is ubiquitous. I mean, look at all the people that will say, I need protein, so I got to eat animals. Like, literally, my realtor told me that shit. My fucking realtor told me, so you're vegan? Because she's in my house. She sees, like, my vegan shit. She's like, oh, you're vegan? I'm like, yeah, 21 years. I've been vegan a long time. I'm against slavery. And, like, I always say that. Yeah, of course I am. I always say, yeah, of course. I don't fucking harm animals. Of course. Why would I? I'm against slavery, and they want to be free, so why do I pay for that? And she's like, well, not me. I need protein. What the fuck are you talking about? That's propaganda. That's just propaganda being regurgitated.
Oh, no, that Aerosmith is all tied up in the thing with, Rick Astley and Flock of Seagulls and the former governor.
You say don't pay her. Yeah, don't hire her. Don't pay her. I mean, immediately I was like, where do you think the bull gets the protein? Where do you think the chicken gets the protein? Proteins and plants. What are you talking about? But it's just always the same thing. You think it's going to be different with anybody else? People are leptons. They're automatons. Most people are automatons buying the shit that they are told to buy. They line up for Taylor Swift concerts. They line up for they line up to the slop trough. They wait in line at McDonald's and they think that that's food. That's literally where we are. And I'm supposed to believe, like, what do you think the alternative is? I have to live in this world where people are propagandized.
Atlanta and Rand Paul's hairdo, like, you'll just follow those things because you, unlike me, are stupid. Fuck you.
Yeah, you're stupid. Hal Sparks is fucking stupid, man. This is my first time watching a Hal Sparks video, and the guy's a dumb shit.
They sell you judgment.
Again, he's talking about, I guess, Nugent now?
They sell you lust.
Well, guilty as charged. I don't know.
The liberal wants Ted. Is Ted Nugent not? Are you sure that Jim Brewer's the MAGger and Hal Sparks is the liberal?
I will admit when I've been called out.
Oh my God, he's got a ponytail too. Hal Sparks has a ponytail? No. I didn't know Hal Sparks has a ponytail.
Not your fault. It's just that's my tractor beam. I just draw you right in.
I didn't know he had a ponytail. He's got like, he kind of looks like a young Steven Seagal. I think he kind of looks like a young Steven Seagal. Hal Sparks. He looks like a young Steven Seagal to me.
This would be, why are you buying it?
All the things.
All the things. What's the word I'm looking for? Because I'm basically talking until the idea comes out.
That you think you want to hear.
Oh, shit. That you think you want to hear. Would it be what they think you want to hear? No, of course not, because they've got a ray that sees into your brain.
And
he's a martial artist too. I saw that on his Wikipedia. He's a martial artist. Yeah, he is. He's a Steven Seagal wannabe. Is that what Hal Sparks is? He's a Steven Seagal wannabe? It's gotta be.
No matter how grounded you are.
He was on Talk Soup. I never saw him on Talk Soup. I remember the other guys on Talk Soup. Oh, is he dyeing his hair too?
Most people fall for it.
Most people, not us, not in this little dimly lit room with our leather seats in this podcast studio, obviously.
Nonstop and continue to do it. And it's
well, nonstop does mean to continue to do it. I mean, that's all right.
And we fall for it over and over and over again.
No, we don't. No.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. You do.
And when they say, and I start.
Oh, get on with it. Fuck's sake.
When they say, one nation under God.
This guy, Hal Sparks was talking about, oh, well, just throw away all the flags then. Like his immediate response was, okay, just no America, just throw away all the flags. Like, yeah, okay. He has proven that he is susceptible and continues to fall for it.
Odd.
This is is he? I guess he's going for Stoner Alex Jones now. Is that what the idea is? I don't know that he uses substances anymore. I think it's just face always looks high, lack of sleep or something like that. But that's where we're going. They trap you with that one nation under God, because they don't say which God it is. They didn't say the God.
I cannot stop right there. Please define your God.
Oh wow, man, so fucking deep, buddy. So, which God is it? Mammon, Baal, the Celtic god of polymath, Lou, your own Ariana Grande. I mean, it could be anything
that you're speaking of.
Yeah, because Satan worshippers view Satan as God, even though they don't, I guess. But they're God, so yeah.
Because the last I checked,
Satan worshiper. Okay. This is what I have to do to be successful on YouTube, is to be more like Hal Sparks.
TV show is sexualized.
Every TV show is sexualized. Well, tell me about your viewing habits without telling me about your.
I don't even know. Is it sexualized? I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff, and I watched The Boys yesterday. I'm very annoyed by it. I get why people like The Boys and they think it's like, political commentary or something like this. Which, if that's political commentary, then I guess, it's so depressing. But I watched an episode of The Boys last night, and they are weirdly anti-sexual, sexist violence. There's a lot of that in that show. And it kind of always sticks out to me how sex is always violence, and romance is something that's kind of is a weakness. That does stick out to me in that show, that sex, I don't know, have you noticed that? There's even like this masturbation joke where he's gonna make sure you knock when you go knock on that teenager's room. I made that mistake once, and she's like, if someone told me that, like that they had walked in on their son masturbating, hey, make sure you knock on the door because he's at that age, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. That's all I would say. Well, I wouldn't make a like. It's so weird. Is that how people react? I don't think normal humans react that way. Like if somebody told you, hey, do you mind if I go to your son's room and knock on the door and have a conversation with them? Yeah, make sure you knock on the door though, because he is at that age. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I wouldn't pull some gross face, right?
Viewing habits.
Glamorized.
Well, I mean, I guess those things would go depending on. I mean, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. I mean, maybe you got an ugly fetish, but there's most of the time you're gonna have to have both of those things. Also, how glamorous are most of the sitcom families, for example?
I mean,
vanity.
Again,
who? what sitcom families are there? Are there sitcom families still today? Does that exist today?
Projection,
Killing,
Yeah, lots of that.
again, which shows are we talking about?
ego.
Well, okay, then now I'm talking about his own.
So money, power, positions.
Yeah, even again, like most of these stories on these, the argument from conservatives has always been that Hollywood is so fucking liberal, and all the shows are like anti-corporation, are community, and why don't we all share and all that kind of shit. Like this kid show mentality that shows up and like, hey, you got to be able to speak about your real emotions and talk to somebody. Like,
Is this Hal Sparks is a conservative, right? He's not a liberal.
that's all the shit that's in these shows, especially nowadays. And again, I don't know where he's projecting this onto like Wicked and shit like that, but whatever, it's just goofy.
Control. So what God exactly?
Oh no, what God exactly are you talking about here? Well, maybe the God that created everything, including all that stuff, and gave you the free will to focus on it or not.
Are you when you say
Oh,
may
he's
God bless our
Christian.
country?
No, he's not Christian. I just googled if Hal Sparks is Christian. Is he Christian or is he not?
May one nation under God and the dollar bills. What? Because you haven't. It's part of the voodoo trick. You don't say in the loving name of Jesus. You don't.
Right, because there's a thing in the Constitution about establishment of religion where God is a generic enough term where people can, if they believe in religion, they can do that and they can project whatever.
No, the "In God We Trust" thing came up because of the fucking communists. We started putting "In God We Trust" on everything because of the communists. The communists don't believe in God, and Marxists don't believe in God. So we put God on everything. Then clearly we're not communists. It's so stupid. It was a whole thing. I know we were doing it before then, but we really got into putting God on everything when the Red Scare was going on after the war, and now we're just like it's all over everything. But this is a godless country. We're a secular nation, have been forever.
Or if they're Hindu or Jewish or Muslim or Christian or whatever, or Buddhist even, I guess technically, not quite a god in Buddhism, but you get the point that you can focus on that, a universal intelligence. That could be your placeholder for God because it's literally illegal under the Constitution because that was the purpose, because pilgrims initially left a country that was forcing them to worship in one particular way.
You don't say in the.
See, this is just a liberal asshole. I can't stand people like this. This is fucking liberal bullshit. This is why I hate liberals, people like Hal Sparks. Everyone's telling me he's a liberal, and it's just like, if this is what the liberals are giving us, then we're fucking doomed. I'm sorry. The liberals are the worst. The liberals are worse than the MAGers. The liberals are worse than Rand Paul and his son, right? At least the Paul family, like Ron Rand and I don't know what's his son's name, Warren or something. They might be anti-Semites, which is horrible, but they're also libertarians, so they do believe in the idea of personal freedoms and liberties, but they also want to give more power to corporations, so because they missed something in their education. they don't understand something. They're missing something, but they're less bad than the liberal, because the liberal's like, oh, well, everyone has a right to listen to their God, and we need to listen to the Nazis again and hear them out one more time. And he misrepresents history.
Loving God. You just say.
Sorry, one nation under the loving God on our money? That's the part you think is missing?
God. Which is interesting because
it's so interesting.
As you and I both know, there's certain words that people just automatically visualize. That's the trick. If I say, I'm a God man.
We'll go, sorry, you think you're a deity?
You instantly think, oh, you must go to church.
No, most of the people I know who go to church don't go, I'm a God man. That sounds like something Kanye West would say, dipshit.
I define with God.
Dun, dun. Sorry, I should probably have that on the ready at any given time. Good Lord, what a dipshit.
Oh, no, I believe in God. Which one are you talking about?
Damn.
Because.
So what is the point?
Notice he doesn't point out the fact that there are a lot of people who say that they're followers of Jesus who don't behave like they've actually read any of Jesus' words.
The one you're talking about doesn't line up with what you claim we're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. You claim we're supposed to be doing. That still seems like external projection. I think what you would check and see is if someone's deity that they allegedly align themselves with should line them up with their own behavior.
Or, you just dismiss the idea of a deity altogether and say it's stop believing in things that don't make sense. And also, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You believe in God? Cool. I don't give a shit. That's why it always bothers me watching these people argue about God, because it's like, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you believe in God. I don't give a shit if you care. I don't care at all. I do not care if you believe in God. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with me. It doesn't matter. Yes. Nothing to do. Jack's shirt been to World War II. Yeah, it's been to World War II. Yes, nothing to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. You're a libertarian and you agree. I mean, at least all libertarians, the only problem with libertarians is they still think capitalism's going to save the day. They're very misguided. But, I mean, at least They think that everyone should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, at least I got more in common with them. I got more in common with some MAGers than I do with these liberals. At least MAGers, they've just been had. They've just been tricked into believing that Donald Trump will save them because they're looking for someone to save them, because they've been conditioned to believe through superhero movies that they could just find a savior. And religion, if I could just find a savior. And then Donald Trump comes along and says, I'm your savior, I'm your retribution, I am your salvation. When somebody comes and tells you that in a convincing way, and let's not go into why it's convincing or all the propaganda and shit that gets you there, but if you're confronted by a person that's like, I am the Messiah, I'm the only one that can save you, and you believe them, you've been conned because you've been set up to believe that you don't have to take any part in building community, in preparing yourself for the bad times, in meeting your neighbors so that if something bad happens, you have somebody to rely on. You have to put effort. You have to learn how to shoot guns. You have to learn how to grow some plants. You got to learn how to work on small engine parts or something. You got to learn how to do some shit. You don't do all of it, but you've got to do something to make yourself valuable to everybody else in your community. And you got to show up for them consistently over long periods of time. This is the work that needs to be done, but nobody wants to do that, especially in America where no one has ever grown up. So what they do, they play video games, which is another thing. I'm a messiah that will save the world. It's me against all of these enemies, and I'm going to save the world. Every single video game is like that, mostly. Come on. Every comic book is like that. Every movie is like that. And now someone comes along. He's a billionaire. He's got a supermodel wife who has a crypto empire. And they come in. I am your Messiah. I will save all of you. I'm saving everybody. Look at me. I'm the pinnacle of success. You can trust me. And you believe it because you're a sucker. Because you've been set up. That's it. You've been set up. My property, his commune. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, hair gel makes you bald. Maybe that's why my hair never fell out, huh? I don't use hair. I washed my hair yesterday because I went to you guys told me I should go to the pool, so I went to the pool, and so I had to wash the chlorine out of my hair, so now it's like real floppy right now. It's real floppy right now. Yeah, we're cooked. Yes, exactly. But we have to, if you build community, you could do it. You got to do some of the hard work yourself. Oh, but what about the people who don't do their part? Fuck them. You're just going to have to drag someone along. You're going to have to look out for some people who can't do it themselves. That's going to be some hard work too. Try to train them up. Teach them how to use a gun. That's generally what happened, right? People who couldn't farm or couldn't do what we said, okay, what are you doing? I don't know, put a gun in his hand, put a bow and arrow in his hand, let's send him out, get some killing done, go kill somebody, go kill an animal, go kill, protect, do something else, because you're not useful here. That's what we did. That's how society's organized. So everyone plays a part. Everyone's got the thing that they can do for everybody else, and you don't need a government, and you don't need the state. You don't need those fuckers. You just don't need them. This great administration that we all have to worship. Anyway, naturally artistic in Marshall's. Nice. Straight to prison. Straight to prison. Believe it or not, straight to prison. Believe it or not, jail. Straight to jail. Anyway, I found out today, thank you, the Anacle. Turns out that I hate Hal Sparks because he's a liberal douchebag who's probably at heart a magger. He doesn't want no kings. He doesn't want no kings. He just wants a different king. So he's just a bootlicker of a different kind. Everyone thinks that I hate maggers because I hate Donald Trump, and I do hate Donald Trump, but as is evidenced by every interaction I have with anyone online, Democrats and Republicans both hate me because I hate both of them. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Now, I remember years ago, probably...
All right, who's this guy? Who did you send? Who is this guy? The Kyle Kalinske Show. Love his hair already. Love his hair. He's got kind of like he's pushing it forward to make himself look younger. Should I do that too? I'll push it forward so I look younger. You won't see that my hairline looks a little... Here, do I look younger like this? There. If I do that, if I push all my hair forward, do I look younger?
A decade ago or more, I remember covering a story on my show about how there is this religious practice that happens where in Orthodox Jewish
No, I can't stand having my hair in my forehead. I can't fucking stand
communities,
it.
you have this thing called a mole or a mole, and basically what it is a rabbi, and there's this ceremony that happens when they want to circumcise a baby, and effectively they do the circumcision themselves. They're not medical doctors, but they do the circumcision themselves, and then I'm not kidding.
I mean, how hard could it be chopping off a little piece of someone's dick? I mean, come on.
Here, it sounds like this is fake or, some smear thing or what. It's not. It's real. What they do is they circumcise, so they cut off the tip of the baby dick.
Yeah, we call it a brisk. Okay, we got this. Trump defends the sucking of baby dicks. What?
And then the mole sucks off the tip of the baby dick. I'm not kidding.
What?
I wish I was kidding. I'm not kidding. That's what happens. Don't take my word for it. Go read it. Don't. Anything I say here, you have my permission. Always fucking fact check me. Always go look it up. Always go Google it. Shit. Who the fuck am I? Why should you trust me?
He sucks it
Nobody
off?
should. Nobody should trust anybody. Verify that shit. So go look it up. In Orthodox Judaism, there is a thing where the moles circumcise the baby, then suck off the tip of the baby dick and, get rid of the blood with their mouth. That's what they do. Now, the story I covered years ago is there was a problem. Well, obviously there's a problem, but you had some of these kids were dying because they ended up getting herpes from the mole. And so you had health officials step in and law enforcement step in and basically be like, hey, you can't do that. Like, sorry, you can't. How dare you? This is my religion.
I didn't even think about the herpes. A lot of people got the herp. You got a herp to derp. You got a herp to derp, brother. Oh, no. You're giving babies herpes. Oh, Jesus. Sky, you need to gel your hair into spikes to look younger. Is that what I need to do? I don't want to look younger. I like looking my age. But I don't think I know guys my age and they look far older than me. So I feel like I'm doing okay.
Don't give a shit. Do not give a shit. Like, would that be a sufficient dodge for rape, for assault, for murder? Right? Is that legit? No. At some point you got to go, I don't care. I don't care. Freedom of religion doesn't mean I get to commit other crimes that are obvious crimes and should be crimes. Like, freedom of religion is like, if you're doing this benign thing, then sure. This is not benign, right? So
I always hated this look. I always hated this look with the blue tie and the blue shirt, like the same color tie as your shirt. I've always hated that. It looks so hideous to me. You look like you work at some shitty restaurant, man. It's horrible.
I covered this a decade ago or more. Well, guess what? This story is kind of rearing its head again because this happened in Belgium. And I have a local news clip here for you. We're going to watch, and then I'm going to break it down further. This is from I-24. Here's what they say about a similar instance that happened in Belgium and what the fallout was. Pay very close attention to what they say here.
For thousands of years, moels have been instrumental in performing the Brit Milah on the 8th day after a boy's birth. However, Belgium, which has seen a surge of anti-Semitism, has laws mandating all circumcisions be performed by licensed doctors.
Okay, let's just pause here for a second. That doesn't sound unreasonable to me.
I mean, or at least get them some kind. Don't they have a certificate? Don't they have to get some kind of certificate? I mean, I don't know. Like, it just seems like pretty niche. Do I need to really worry about? Hey, man, you want to take your baby to the fucking guy that sucks off the tip of the baby? Do I need the government to step in? Do we need the government to step in on this? It seems weird. Herpes is very dangerous for babies. I had no idea that herpes were dangerous for babies. I do feel like if you kill a baby with your herpes, you should go to jail. How about that? Why don't we just do that? Hey, listen, if you perform a brisk and that baby dies from herpes, you go to jail forever. That makes sense, right? You knew you had herpes. It's not like you didn't know. And if you didn't know, you gotta I don't know. This is so weird. Why the fuck are we hold on a second. Let me go back. Like, this is another. Why are we circumcising anybody? Why are you okay with any circumcision? Circumcision should not be allowed. You should not be allowed until that kid is able to say, I want the tip of my penis chopped off. Then you don't get to chop off that penis. I'm circumcised and it pisses me off. Why the fuck did you do that? I feel completely like you took away my consent. Here I am, 47 years later, or however. I don't know how old I was when they did it. I don't remember it. That's for sure. And I have a scar from where you chopped off a piece of my dooflicker. What the? Why would you do that? Well, it's tradition. What? It ain't tradition. What the hell? Why are American white people doing this? You say it's religious, but it's not just religious. American white people do it, not Jews. And yet here I am. I'm not Jewish. And yet we're going to organize deck chairs on the fucking Titanic again? Like, think bigger. Kyle Kulinski. Why the fuck? Oh, we need to have a medical doctor do this. A medical doctor did it to me, and it was still bullshit. You got cut at age 26. I know a guy who got cut at 12. He's Turkish, and he got cut at 12, and he was telling me the experience and how painful it was. Got cut at 12 because they wanted some special rabbi to do it. Not a rabbi, some Muslim shit. I don't know. I forget who does it in the Muslim thing. It's not a rabbi or a mole. It's whatever their equivalent is, right? Some Muslim did it. Cut off the tip of his cock because Allah says so. It's crazy. 26, what difference does it make? It shouldn't be done at all for the cleanliness. Cleanliness, I'm not living in squalor. I've lived a pretty clean life. Cleanliness? Is it so hard to teach a child how to clean his dick? You lose sensitivity. LOL, how is sex? So supposedly, I've read about this. Supposedly, guys who are circumcised have longer sexual experiences, but guys who are not circumcised have shorter sexual experiences, but more intense feelings, which makes sense, right? If you're feeling more intensely, you're gonna blow earlier. But I don't get it. Cleanliness argument is bullshit. It's genital mutilation. 100%. 1000%. It's genital mutilation. It should be against the law. It shouldn't be allowed. It's fucking rape, man. It's against your fucking. It's against my will. I wasn't able to consent. I was a baby. It's not something I think about every day or anything, but like, what the fuck? And then Kyle Kaczynski's, they should have a medical doctor do it, clearly. No, asshole! They shouldn't allow medical doctors do it either. It should be done in dark alleys. You should go to jail if there should be no statute of limitations either. If we find out at 12 years old, this kid says I was circumcised, you put the parents in jail immediately, directly to jail. If that child if you could brainwash that child, and when that child's 18, that child decides to get his dick cut off because you brainwashed him for 18 years successfully, fine, you put in the work. You put in the work, and now he's consenting. But if you can't speak, you can't consent. It's like fucking a drunk girl who's passed out. That's rape because she is unable to consent to what you're doing to her. This shouldn't be tough.
Hey, if you're going to do a circumcision, it should be... Look, there's a bigger conversation to have about circumcision. If I'm being honest, I'm against it. I am circumcised, but also I think it's bad. I think it's brutal. I think the arguments that are in favor of it are sort of like rationalizations more than like, a good sufficient reason to start chopping off the tips of babies' penises. Call me crazy. But that's a separate conversation. If we grandfather in, okay, circumcisions are going to happen. Okay. Yeah, no. I would say a medical professional should be the bare minimum that one could ask for. Let's keep going.
And last year, Antwerp police made several...
It should not be a bare minimum. I'm so sick of these fucking liberals. These fucking liberals are always bare minimum. Like, it's like, dude, I get that, like... liberals.
Arrests after a raid. Joining us now from Brussels is Avi Tail, the director of the European Jewish Community Center of Brussels.
The Brit Milah has been part of Jewish life for literally thousands of years in Europe.
So he's saying that, hey, this ceremony is part of Jewish life for thousands of years. Like, it is a religious freedom issue. This is what this guy's saying.
Pause the track. I thought that the circumcision gave me the head of my cock until I was 22. It's absurd. Oh, yeah, because you saw maybe another little boy who didn't have a penis head. Like, I don't know what I thought. I mean, at 22, I probably knew pretty better. I mean, I moved to Europe when I was 19, and no one there was circumcised. And it was kind of funny because my girlfriend was German at the time, and other boys would be like, oh, only Jews get circumcised. Or when she's like, no, Americans are all circumcised. And And they would be like, what are you talking about? Only the Jewish are. And they think it's crazy. Like, most Europeans don't realize that most American men are circumcised. Let me get some statistics. What are the statistics about circumcised men in America? It seems like most American men are circumcised. Is it just the whites or something? Who's getting circumcised in America? How's that break down? Let's see what Google says. While historically high, newborn circumcision rates in U.S. have declined to only 50%. Only 50% of us are getting our dicks chopped off in America now. While up to 80% of older American men are circumcised, the rate is dropping with significant variations by race. Highest among white men, approximately 90%. Whites. Like, we wonder why white people are so fucked up. Hispanic men, only 44%. Only. It's lowest in the West, where I'm from. It's higher in the East because they're so fucking conservative and weird out in the East. Approximately 70 to 80% of the current adult male population in the U.S. is circumcised. Like, this is, like, you want to talk about trauma. Like, you traumatize us as children. You indoctrinate us to do all of these horrible things in this weird rape culture, white culture thing that you've built for us. And then you wonder why we're all crazy. Why people are losing their shit on the subway. Why people are blowing up schools with AK-47s or AR-15s, whatever weapon of choice. Like, it's insane that we don't understand where this is coming from. Not to mention the fact that my father was raised by a guy my great-grandfather was dead when my grandfather was 19 years old. My grandfather had to take over the farm and raise his own brother at 19, and he was doing okay until the Great Depression happened. And when the Great Depression happened, they all lost everything. And so what happened? Like a lot of boys, he had to go and kill Nazis overseas. And so he joined up. He joined up to kill Nazis. And when he was joining up, he became a Mason. He became a Freemason. What do you think that guy came home with? My grandfather was always like quiet and stoic. And we think of that as like this, like manly. My grandfather, I always thought he was so manly because he was stoic and strong. And my grandma was mean and raised my father in traumatic, like just very mean woman. And my grandfather was stoic and stern. Of course he was raised with trauma. Then my father raises me like he's a fucking Victorian. And it's like, of course, white people are and you chop my dick off. Well, a piece of it, just a little piece. Don't worry, ladies. It's still like 9.5 inches, but it's like just the tip. They took that part for some reason. They should have lobotomized me and taken my fucking gallbladder or whatever the fuck. Take my appendix, take the appendix, take my tonsils, lobotomize me, remove my molars, and then take off the penis part. Like, take everything. All at once, please. All at once. When they circumcised me, they should have just taken it all so that I could be an automaton. Lobotomize me right there on the table. First you cut the penis part, then you take the brain part. Bingo. I'll be a productive member of society. Jesus. That leads to infection. It doesn't lead to it. You're telling me all these Europeans are walking around with infected dicks? Hold on. Let's find out. Medical recommendations. Let's see. I've got it on my screen right now. In the Midwest, it's over 70%. What do you know? My dad's from the Midwest, from Nebraska. The lowest in the West, it's less than 40% in California. So I'm surrounded by dudes that ain't got the same problem as I got, apparently. Problem. It's not really a problem. It just pisses me off, to be honest with you, because I feel like it was a rape. I did not consent to this. And it's a lifelong scar. Insurance coverage. 17 states have dropped Medicaid funding for circumcisions, which correlates with lower rates. Wonderful. It's good. So I'm not paying it for 17 states. Cool. Demographic shifts. The rapid increase in the Hispanic population, who tend to have lower circumcision rates, contributes to overall decline. Great. Good job, Hispanics. Good job. The West has seen a dramatic drop in popularity compared to other parts of the country. Cool. Way to go, West. Medical recommendations. While rates have dropped, the American Academy of Pediatrics in 2012 and the CDC in 2018 have recognized that the benefits of circumcision outweigh the risks. The risks? How are you to fucking define my risks? Older generations of men have higher rates, close to 80%, which keeps the national average of all adults higher than the current newborn rate, which is under 50%. All right, let's ask... do countries where they don't circumcise, do they have greater problems of infection or any other medical ramifications due to the lack of circumcision prevalence? Survey says, searching. No. Non-circumcising countries do not suffer from widespread public health crises or massive outbreaks due to a lack of circumcision. While clinical studies prove that circumcision provides specific localized protective health benefits, European countries with circumcision rates below 10% maintain excellent overall health outcomes. This is because general sanitation, access to clean water, robust healthcare systems, and comprehensive sex educations vastly outweigh the medical impact of circumcision. Bingo! There you go. Bingo. So basically, they're just cutting off our dicks because we've always done it this way. We've just always done it this way. So stupid. So stupid. There you go, dipshit. I do everything the CDC tells me. Duke, are you one of those guys that keeps getting boosters on the you think you're really into the boosters? You got a lot of boosters. Get the more booster, get all the boosters. Every month getting a booster. Get more boosters, baby. Third world countries. Like, what the fuck? How about teach boys how to wash their fucking dicks? No, we can't possibly do that. We can't talk about that in America. It's so stupid. Circumcision is rape culture. Yeah, rape culture in the Bible. That's it. There you go. That's it. It's just rape culture. You're on your 13th booster. Way to go. Keep it coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Bro, if they cut it off, it isn't circumcision. It's still genital mutilation. It's just like, you know, when they do it in women in Africa, they cut the clitoris off and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck? What are people doing? Genital mutilation for female babies. Why? These assholes.
Community is a wonderful community contributing to society in all branches of life. The Antwerp Jewish community, it's a thriving Jewish community. And I think this is
third world countries. What are you worried about third world countries for? Like, do they get, should I ask that too? Like, I don't know. Like in third world countries, well, I'm not really worried about third world countries. They're walking around with way bigger problems. If you're in a place that like they don't have clean water, then you got bigger problems than your circumcision situation. If you don't have enough clean water to like treat mild illnesses or, you know, live without parasites, you know, then you've got bigger problems than circumcision. So I'm guessing there's like, who knows what those rates are, but
this is a defining crisis because criminalizing such a Jewish practice, which is in the core of Jewish life, many of us wonder if there is a future for the Jewish community in Belgium.
So what he's saying is, this is so unfair that you're stopping us from doing this, that we wonder if there even is a future for us here because you guys are being so unfair, you're being so unkind, you're oppressing us by not allowing us to use our religious freedom and do this ceremony. That's what he's saying. Okay, you ready for this? There's another layer to this story. You ready? Chris Minahan says, Jews are questioning if they have a future in Belgium after 3 moles were indicted for conducting oral suction circumcisions. Quote, many of us wonder if there's a future for the Jewish community in Belgium. A Jewish community leader tells Israel's I-24 News. The Trump administration is demanding the anti-Semitic charges be dropped. Let me repeat that. The Trump administration is demanding the anti-Semitic charges be dropped. So when I first read this, I was like, hold up. Nobody's more inclined to believe some anti-Trump shit than your boy. Y'all know that. Everybody knows that. And I believe it because I think that shit is true as fuck and there's so much evidence for it. However, I was like, I better look at, before I take this to my audience, I better do a little Googlington. Okay, I better do a little Google skis and find out real quick. Is this true? It's true. It's actually true. It's true. The Trump regime is saying How dare you? You should drop the charges. You should drop the charges and let them keep sucking the tips of baby dicks.
Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, Trump, MAGA hates kids. What do they care if they're sucking baby dick? It's so disgusting. Makes me sick to my stomach. But they're Jewish, so it's okay. What the fuck are we talking about, man? And what sucks, too, is that it makes people think that all Jewish people are... Like, it's so painful to me, is that then people will be like, see, Jewish people want to suck baby dicks. And it's like, no, man, it's just these one little weird Jewish crew, man. It's just this one little weird Jewish crew over in Belgium. Do they do that shit in America? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. But, like, fresh off, I feel like if the government's good for anything, it should be about outlawing circumcision. You're not allowed to do it unless it's medically necessary. Forcing children into cosmetic surgery, and yet Donald Trump says you're not allowed to have gender-affirming care. But cut their dicks off, suck off the blood, you're totally okay. They cut the clit with a razor and then sew it to the vagina so that it can't have any pleasure because it's a sin. Women are only for incubation and objectification in some people's eyes. Yeah, exactly. When they're totally okay. Like, everyone's okay with this, right? Well, also, if that's bad, which it is, then so is circumcision. Fucking with little babies' genitals is wrong. The fact that it ever became a normalized thing, I'm so fucking pissed right now, actually. I'm so angry when I think about these things. I remember one time when my mom was alive, I asked her, I was like, why the fuck did you do that? And she's like, your father insisted. And, like, I didn't really have an opinion on it. Everybody in the 70s was doing this shit. And I was like, you didn't think about this? She's like, well, I didn't really... I was kind of against it, but I didn't know. And I'm like, God damn it. But how can I be mad at her, right? How can I be mad? They're just as propagandized as everybody else. My father was circumcised, so I'm going to have my son get circumcised. And my father's father was circumcised, so my son's going to get circumcised. What is wrong with you people? Jesus. Oh, good. Finally, we got someone with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, the richest man who ever lived, is spending lots of money to try to look like me. Don't make fun of him for that, okay? He wants to look like a real man. He wants to use gender-affirming care. He's had lots of surgeries to try to look like me. And hey, I don't mind being the template, the real man template for the richest man who ever lived. I don't mind. He keeps on trying. He'll never be me. He keeps on trying to look like me. He got himself a penis implant, teeth, jaw implant, hair plugs. The guy is trying so hard. You'll never be me, Elon. You'll never be me. I'm sorry. Money cannot buy this. Cannot be done. Michael Jackson tried to look like Diana Ross. Elon Musk is trying to look like me. Exactly, Skyjack. I fought my kids' dads in hospitals, and then they did it anyway. Oh my God, Chai Pixie. That's kind of what my mom said. She said she put up a fight, but not that much of a fight. Like she was honest. She said, like, I mean, I was against it, but at the end of the day, I mean, I was outnumbered. What the fuck was I gonna do? That's it. Anyway, I don't know. I kind of wish we didn't watch that because now I'm angry. I'm so angry that people allow this shit. Kyle Kalinske. I never watched this stuff, but thank you for sending that, Theanical.
Once you start having all sorts of different versions of fascism, it's very easy
I
to
like
then
this
call
guy.
pretty much everyone a fascist that you don't like.
Trump likes to attack the left as multiculturalist, confused, historicist, self-contradictory. Sorry, but if there ever was a historicist relativist, it's Trump.
I had the opportunity to speak to what people consider to be the most dangerous philosopher in the West or to the West, and I believe they call you that because you identify as a communist.
I am saying that Stalinism in all its horror is still part of the European Enlightenment.
It's impossible to avoid the subject of fascism.
Who should I slow down? I should slow down which guy? I should slow down. It's only at 1.5 speed. God damn, we'll be here all day if we watch everything on normal speed. How about 1.25? That's as slow as I'm going.
In the age of Donald Trump. Some people
So
wield it simply
slow.
as an insult to the American president. Others...
You guys are all stuck at 1x. Man, I watch everything on 2x. I slow it down to 1.5 for my shows. But damn, 1x. This is 1.25 and it's still...
a lot of time and energy in explaining how it's a fair and legitimate label. Many of his supporters use it as an example of incendiary rhetoric gone too far. All of which begs the question, is Donald Trump a fascist? Well, revered philosopher,
Yes.
psychoanalyst, Slavoj Žižek, author of the new
Zizek
book Liberal Fascism,
is awesome.
has some thoughts. And a bit later in the show, we'll both be joined by Warren Smith, the internet's premier critical thinker, who has some different thoughts. Well, joining us right away is Slavoj. Welcome back to Uncertain. Great to see you.
Here, this is perfect for a widget. Here we go. We're going to do a poll real fast. How fast? We can have a question mark because that's the question. 1.25x or 1.5x, or you know what? Let's do 2x too. I want to see if anybody wants 2x because I prefer 2x, but I'm guessing most people do 1.5. All right, we're going to create that. It's going to go on the screen now. Okay, now it's on the screen. Who is going to vote? You vote. You know how it works. You put a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. Don't just put 1, 2, or 3. Okay? Those are your choices. No, don't put 1.5. You put 1, 2, or 3. Correlated. Don't put 1.5. Pause the track. You got to put. If you want 1.5, you put 2. If you want 1.25, you put 1. That's how we're going to do it.
See you the first time.
Yeah.
Face to face.
I want to start, Slavoj, with a quote from your new book.
Yeah.
Perhaps the best characterization of Trump is that he's liberal, namely a fascist liberal. He's the ultimate proof that liberalism and fascism work together, that they are the two sides of the same coin. Now,
yes.
I have always resisted.
Yes, liberals and fascists are two sides of the same coin. Totally agree.
The charges that he's a fascist or a...
100% agree. I've been watching a lot of Subway takes, and that guy Kareem always goes 100% agree, and I like that.
Nazi or any of these labels, because I think it's quite dangerous to position
Oh,
people
yes,
like
it's
that.
very
There's a clear,
dangerous.
coherent evidence and argument to the contrary. What makes you so convinced that he is a fascist?
First, I don't think he is the one fascist. We should never forget, I repeat this as a maniac all the time, that Trump is for me the reaction of the decay, of the weakness of this American relative liberal democratic welfare state.
Looks like 1.5 wins. We're going faster. We're going to speed it up, folks.
So for me, you don't begin by focusing on Trump. You should begin by self-critique of the liberal establishment.
Yes. Yes.
Fascist. Now I will say something shocking. I must apologize in advance. I think the world is moving. That's why in the title of my book it's plural. S. The world is moving towards different fascisms. And I even talk.
Yeah, that's great. Different types of fascism for different folks, right? We got different forms of fascism. True. I like that. Like, I love this guy. I think I very rarely disagree with this guy.
About soft fascism. My thesis is that, for example, China is now a soft fascist country.
So what is fascism to you?
I will tell you exactly in a very simplified way.
What is fascism to you? You are fucking Piers Morgan. You don't know what fascism... It always wrecks me that Piers Morgan is so goddamn ignorant all the time. Like, it really is painful because Piers Morgan's been doing this a long time. They literally tried when Larry King was too old to do his job anymore. They tried to sneak in this fucking English piece of shit, but you know he's too English. We need an American doing this job. But Piers Morgan's the only one he has the dumbest questions. And he acts so stupid. Like Larry King always. He was just the dumbest, stupidest questions, and he was just always acted like an idiot. Just so dumb. God damn it, you've been doing this for 30 years. Have you learned nothing from all your conversations? Have you retained nothing? Piers Morgan's the same way. This guy acts like it's Groundhog Day, like he just forgot everything from the day before. Like this dude has conversations with all these people, and he does not grow as an individual at all. Like, how is that possible? That's a special type of talent Piers Morgan has.
Fascism is for me. It's an old Marxist definition here, I agree with it. Fascism is, for me,
hey, don't just call him Morgan.
Modernization.
I thought you were talking about me. Don't call him. Don't say that about me.
Fascism is, for me, a conservative modernization. You want to reap all the benefits of fast industrialization and so on, but you are aware that if you leave this process without any state control, you end up in decay, too much individualism, and so on. Yeah. So the idea is, yes, liberal capitalism, but with a strong, not only state control, but also ideological control, usually grounded in some nationalist, ethnic, more even than religious, conservative, traditional ideology. My example, and I respect them, China. China,
fascist.
They don't even talk about freedom. Their idea is we bring happiness, satisfactory life to people, and return to Confucianism. In some sense, isn't Putin doing the same? Isn't Erdogan doing the same? Isn't Modi in India doing the same?
Yes.
And, so again, fascism is not for me these Nazis shouting.
Does
and
it
so on.
automatically then need to be right wing, or is your argument that it can be left wing, right wing? Really, it's about state control. Is that?
State control is right wing, dumb shit, you fucking moron. Left wing means no state control. Left wing means we don't want the government in our shit. Left wing means capitalism is fucked. Left wing is not the Democrats, but unfortunately, Piers Morgan has no penis.
Well, not so much state control as state control based on a strong nationalist ideology.
But can that be to the left and the right?
I think not, but for a very precise reason, not because the right is automatically evil, because the good thing about left, which I disagree with many things that happen to the left, but it's what's happened today, is that the left is always aware that when somebody focuses on an external enemy, immigrants, other races, trans people, and so on, the leftist automatically asks the question, which antagonism, which tension immanent to our society do they try to cover up in this way? Like, for me, the big question about Nazism, anti-Semitic Nazism, is not, is it true what they say about Jews? Of course, mostly it's not. But my problem is, why did the Nazis need a figure like the
Yes!
Jews?
Bingo! Why do they always need a figure like the Jews to have a scapegoat? Why do they always need a scapegoat? They always have to have one. Great question. Why? Why? I think the answer is clear. I think the answer is because you need to, if you pose the problem, you sell the cure, and then you always move the goalpost. You have a new scapegoat. You promise a golden age as soon as we get rid of those people, and whoever those people are. As soon as we get rid of those people, and I'm going to help you do it. I'm your salvation. I'm the savior. I'm going to fix it for you. You need to have a scapegoat. And then when that scapegoat gets eliminated, you get a new scapegoat. And you're like, oh, the golden age. The only reason we don't have a golden age is because of these people now. We got rid of those people, so we're closer to the golden age. Now we got to get rid of these people so we can have a golden age. And then we get rid of those people, the next people. It's always that.
Sustain their identity. You know, this projection onto an external enemy, yes, communism can come close to it. For example, the Stalinist obsession with foreign agents and so on and so on. But nonetheless, I think that this denial that our society in itself can be split. And here, to return to Trump nonetheless, here Trump goes pretty far.
But if you think about a fascist of the classic kind like Mussolini, okay, he would be the embodiment to most people of what a fascist is. And
well, he's the guy who named it, right? I don't think that he's the embodiment of what a fascist is, but like he is kind of like the guy who saw. I think the KKK is what started fascism. I've read a lot about this. A lot of people agree. I didn't come up with this on my own. When it came down to it, the KKK was kind of like the first fascist movement. And but people like Hitler and Mussolini saw that, and they're like, but we can make this better if we can really kind of overtly involve corporations and capitalism. We could really make this better and make this a form of governance called fascism. But the KKK was involved in like secret, like the Klan was involved in, companies keeping people down and dealing business with one another. Secret societies were really in back then. And so they did business only with each other and shit like that. That's kind of like proto-fascism, I think. I agree with that. I didn't make that up. Somebody else did, but I agree with it.
I look at him and look at Trump, and all right, you might argue that rhetorically Trump can sound like a fascist from time to time, but in terms of his actions,
not from time
how
to
I
time.
always prefer to judge Trump, he hasn't behaved like Mussolini, has he?
No, absolutely
Yes, he does.
not. But you know what I absolutely agree here.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does behave like Mussolini. He has his face up on the DOJ, his face up on the Department of he puts his giant posters of himself just like Mussolini did. He put his picture in my passport. He puts his picture on the that's all Mussolini shit on the National Parks Pass. He puts his picture all over everything. He wants to put his picture on a coin. That's all very Mussolini shit. That's very peak Mussolini.
That's why I emphasized that it's just one of the versions. You know where I see...
But do we get into a slippery slope here, Slavoj? And I
Yeah.
say this with great respect, but once you start sort of having all sorts of different versions of fascism, it's very easy to then call pretty much everyone a fascist that you don't like. And part of my argument
Not
about
really.
modern discourse, and in particular about Trump, actually, is that people say he's a fascist, he's a Nazi. And I'm like, a Nazi? Really? You know, you're comparing him to Adolf Hitler, who murdered 12 million people?
Yes.
There is no comparison to me. And what it does is it over-demonizes Trump in a way that probably helps him, actually, but it also dilutes the impact of real Nazis, and to me, real fascists like Mussolini and stuff in history. If you start,
This is why Piers Morgan's such a fucking idiot. It's not about your fucking what they did. It leads to that. That's the last step of fascism. The killings, like the major shit, like Auschwitz stuff. That was the last 2 years. All the other, this is how stupid people like Piers Morgan are, and why it's just infuriating when people are like, well, he's not, you're comparing him to Hitler. Hitler killed 6 million Jews, or however many Jews you want to say. Hitler killed all those people. Yeah, he killed a lot the whole time, but those last 2 years were doozies. Big times where they were just like, no, we're just going to cook everybody. We're not going to even, because the war's almost over, we're not going to even use them for labor anymore because we can't afford to feed them. So we're just going to ship them off and execute everybody. And once they made that shift, that was the latest stage of fascism. Hitler had already been in power for like over 10 years. Yeah, over 10 years. Hitler became, what year did Hitler rise to power? What year did Hitler become chancellor? 1933. So he had been in power for 12 years. 12 years is how long Hitler was in power before the real bad shit started. The really, really, really bad shit. Yeah, he was already around before that, right? But he was chancellor in 30. Let's say, when did Hitler rise to prominence and power? Because he was already doing shit. Yeah, in the early 20s, he was already a charismatic leader of the Nazi Party. In 33 is when he really formally gained power. But he was in the 20s, he was already doing his thing. 21, he had prominence in the German Workers' Party. Because he was already popular in Austria. He was doing, like, I've been to the cafe that he used to, like, spout off and say the shit. Because they used to hang out in cafes and get all political and stuff in Vienna. And I've been to that cafe. And then he moved to Munich. And then he got really political at that point. So, I mean, you know, it took a while. But fascism takes a while. Doesn't just happen. It happens quickly when it really starts happening. But that's why Trump isn't just like didn't invent this shit. It's been going on for a while. When we write about this in the future, we will write about in 2016, Donald Trump came into power. But Donald Trump, we all knew about the way he was and that he was a pervert and a weirdo since the 1990s. 80s, the 80s and 90s, we knew who he was. We've always known who he was. Just like Hitler. It took a long time. It didn't just come up overnight. Hitler got popular spouting shit in cafes because that was a popular thing to do back then. They didn't have TV and stuff. And he would give little speeches in Vienna. And then he moved to Munich and he got more political. And then eventually, 13 years later, he became chancellor. Just like Hitler. Sorry, just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump got online. He was doing his YouTube channel. He got on TV. He was doing TV stuff. He was talking about the birth certificate of Barack Obama. He was, he had taken out a full-page ad about the Central Park Five and bringing back the execution for black people. Like, these are things that he was well famous for. Saying that Indians who don't look like Indians shouldn't be allowed to have parts of the casino business. Like, all sorts of crazy shit this guy did. I mean, the guy's a fucking long-term racist and fascist. And now we're surprised that he's doing fascist shit as a president. It's not fucking surprising to me. Well, he didn't. You're comparing to Hitler. Hitler killed all those people. Well, Donald Trump has killed a lot of people. A lot of people. Well, he didn't do it with concentration camps and like ovens, but he's killed a lot of fucking people already. He signed the death warrants for millions. And he's oversaw the bloodiest year in ICE history.
Parking people like Trump into the mix because you've extended the range of fascists to all sorts of different categories. You can hook everybody in, and then it's kind of meaningless.
We agree more than it may appear here, because you know what I'm trying to do, and this many people will like, is not to demonize people like as fascists, but to water down and dilute the notion of fascism. I think the true tragedy, again, is the wariness, inability of Western liberal democracies to effectively act and solve problems. If you want an example, I think we should talk about it. One, it's, Salvador Bukele.
Yes.
In a very brutal way, he arrested tens of thousands and so on. We know what he did. But the effects were felt in 2 years. And now, in the last 3 elections, he won almost with communist numbers, 80% and so on. That's, for me, the problem, that liberal democracy is losing its ability to act. It's clear even now, in the United States, Democrats are still in confusion. You have democratic socialists, which I think are really old-fashioned social democrats, still much less radical than, let's say, Swedish social democrats.
Would you categorize Mamdani as one of those, the new mayor of New York?
I think that, first, I'm here absolutely pragmatic. I don't like these choices. Should we mobilize locally people in small cities? Should we wait for a big revolution or whatever? Let's do whatever is possible.
Man, Zizek, dude, I fucking love this guy. He should be vegan. Imagine this guy speaking up for animals, this guy speaking up for the enslaved animals. Holy shit, this guy would move millions. But no, the other thing that I think Piers Morgan and I think even Zizek's missing right here is that liberal democracies always have a little bit of fascism in there, right? It's always in the pudding, right? There's always a big piece of us, a big piece of our countries that would gladly murder all the Jews, would gladly murder all the people that disagree, would gladly murder all the blacks. There's lots of people in America who have always felt that way. They didn't just go away when Hitler died. Those people existed in America before and after the war. They exist today, and they're called MAGA. They happen to be in power now, and they've always been around. They've rebranded. They're alt-right now instead of neo-Nazi, but they're still fascists. And we've always they've always been at the table. People like Strom Thurmond, people like McCarthy, like Joe McCarthy, they've been at the table this whole time. And if you ask anybody who has any experience in governance or even in campaigns like me, you run across them, and it doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat, you run across fascists, and you're like, holy shit, this guy is a full-on fascist. But he's on our side, so I guess it's okay. That's exactly how that happens. Oh, well, he's on our side. That's okay. We need the help. He's got some money. He's got some connections. So we need the help. It doesn't matter, Republican or Democrat.
But the reason I am tempted to call Trump a very specific kind of fascist, and I will immediately go into it in what specific sense. Namely, all the fascist leaders that you mentioned and others, they, of course, functioned in a different
neocons.
way.
Neocons? Do we even have any neocons anymore? Who's a neocon? Name a neocon, please. Please name any neocon that's in office. Can you name anybody, please? Anybody? Could someone tell me who they think is a neocon in office today anywhere in America, please? Anyone in America? Look at this guy. Did you just get here? Because we're literally talking about this, that the watering down of the term fascism. But whatever. This guy, man, people come in so Trump-tarded. They're so Trump-tarded they can't do it. Lindsey Graham? You think Lindsey Graham is a neocon? He's gone full MAGA. I don't think he's a neocon anymore. I think Tom Tillis maybe is a neocon. I think Marco Rubio, I think deep down is a neocon. I used to think Rand Paul. I used to think, I think Tom Tillis might be the last one, guys. Ben Shapiro doesn't have power. Lindsey Graham, I'll give you Lindsey Graham. All right. Lindsey Graham, I don't know. I think that guy's a fascist. That guy just goes wherever the wind blows. Whoever's got power, he follows. He's just a sycophant. He's a loyalist. He's like Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi doesn't give a shit. Pam Bondi is a legalist loyalist. And you have that in every major regime where you've got a dictatorship. You have a legalist loyalist like Pam Bondi or like Todd Blanche. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They're just loyal to the power. I think Lindsey Graham is like that. He's just loyal to the powerful. He doesn't care who his daddy is. He will serve that master. And that's not neocon. That's a fascist. That's all there is to it.
With this false dignity, untouchable, no criticism, and so on. Well, the way Trump acts, I like to characterize him in another way.
Trump is goatsy? Oh my God. Are people saying Trump is goatsy? Ugh. Goatsy. I never knew what Goatsy's face looked like. I guess, yeah, Trump is goatsy. That's why he wears a diaper. Goatsy. Trump is goatsy. Man, I never thought about it before today, but yeah, goatsy. Yeah.
Trump likes to attack the left as multiculturalist, confused, historicist, self-contradictory. Sorry, but if there ever was a historicist relativist, it's Trump. And although I don't fully follow him, what I like about...
Great. The fascist value aesthetics, MAGA doesn't have taste. Whoa. They do have an aesthetic, though. The red caps, that's an aesthetic choice. The red caps is an aesthetic choice no different than the armband. That's a choice. Or... The pictures on the back, his picture on the passport, first time ever, his scowling face, always a scowl. That's very Mussolini-esque. There's always the scowl. And then they put the banners on the, it's kind of like Kim Jong-un, Mussolini. I think he's very Mussolini. But yeah, they value aesthetics just because they have no taste. I guess the Nazis, the Nazis had Hugo Boss design the uniforms. They had Ferrari Panine or whatever they had really good Ferdinand Porsche. They had these really great designers doing their shit. So they were, they had very Germanic designs, and they looked good. Can't argue with that. Even the Beetle, it's a pretty cool looking car. Kind of. I don't think they're as cool as I used to, but I think the old Beetles, they look kind of cool. The Carmen Ghia is a beautiful car. The Porsche is a beautiful car. Adidas, yeah. Puma, Adidas. Mm-hmm. Mercedes-Benz was Nazi. For sure, man. The G-Wagon, that's fucking total fascist design.
About somebody like Bernie Sanders, with all my critique of him.
Bernie Sanders?
Bernie, nonetheless, as a person, not private, but how he acts, isn't he a model of common, ordinary, decent guy who speaks calmly and so on and so on? That's what we need. I think that...
But you said, so in 2016, you said that a Trump victory might be for the best in America because it would disrupt the liberal center and force a radical reorganization of the left. I would argue that what it did was provoke this kind of crazy new far left, woke kind of left, which I've argued repeatedly actually became, in the way that they behaved and spoke, very like the fascists that they profess to hate most. In other words, they wanted to censor free speech, cancel and destroy people and imprison people that they didn't agree with. They would support...
Who the fuck... what leftist ever said that? What leftist ever said we want to imprison people who say things we don't like? Who the fuck is Piers talking about? I always hear this shit. Well, they said, they're talking like a fascist. Who said that? I got friends that say shit like that. Like, well, the left wants to put people in jail for talking. They do? Who? Who said that they want to... Who has gone to jail? Who has been canceled? The only person I know who's been canceled is Stephen Colbert. Everybody else has weathered the storm, even fucking Jimmy Kimmel. They've all they get been persecuted, they get shit on by the government, but they all make it. Who did fucking Barack Obama cancel, stick his finger up his butt? Who did that? I don't know anybody. Even if you think about people like Louis C.K. with the Me Too movement cancellations, he won a Grammy the year later. He's not fucking canceled. He lost his shows because he's a douche. He made mistakes, bad ones. He paid for them, and it sucks because I think his shows were pretty good. Actually, I liked Louis C.K. before I found all that about him. But who the fuck is getting canceled? Oh, we can't do roasts like we used to. Turns out you can. You're doing roasts. What do you mean you can't do roasts like you used to? Oh, we can't do that today. Yes, you can. Totally, you could do it just like they did, just like Dean Martin and, fucking all those old guys, Don Rickles. You could do Don Rickles' act. No end of it. Yeah, Louis C.K. was pretty cool, right? Back in the old days. His show was great. Louie, 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 Louie. I love that show. It's a great show. He also, Tig Notaro, he gave Tig Notaro her break. She had a show that got canceled because he was a producer. That show was great. I forget what it was called. Mississippi or something. It was a great show. Tig Notaro's fucking brilliant. I think Tig Notaro's so funny, so clever, so fucking quick. And she got canceled because of Louis C.K. was a producer on her show. Sucked. So. But hey, we gotta pay for our mistakes. Sorry, Louis. Are you gonna say he was canceled though? Like canceled? He still makes a living. He's still rich. Don't worry about Louis C.K. He's doing fine. He's He's still working. Who got canceled? What leftist has got? How about fucking Chappelle? Dave Chappelle, is he canceled? He's rich. He's doing fine. He's still doing fine. No one gets canceled. Tony Hinchcliffe, not canceled. He's doing fine. Who are we talking about all the time? Who got canceled? Stephen Colbert and Kathy Griffith, maybe. Like, I think those are the only ones who literally got, like, blackballed. And you know what? Stephen Colbert's gonna be fine. It sucks. His show's gone, and no one's gonna have it. The show's completely gone. But Stephen Colbert was fucking milquetoast anyway. Stephen Colbert is just a liberal. Part of the problem. Not the end of the world.
Or ridiculous non-scientific things like transgender athletes in women's sport and so on. And in other words, once you start denying science and biology and censoring free speech and so on, actually this is all very fascist if you start wanting a state to enforce all this, right?
I tend again to agree with you. I criticize from...
Is it embarrassing to be American? Yes. Yes, it's embarrassing to be an American and watching our empire crumble. Of course it is. Have you ever read George Orwell's Killing of an Elephant? I think of him all the time. I love George Orwell, of course, because he was an anti-fascist. But he wrote, because he was raised in India, you know, he was raised watching the spear's point of fascism. And he became, you know, he's anti-authoritarian because of it. But he watches an elephant get killed, and he's like, of course, the elephant just has to be killed because we have to show everyone that we're strong and we don't want to be laughed at. And it's like, that's where America is. It's at that little area of the decline of an empire, like the last days of the English occupation of India, where they're only still there because they got to stay in control and show everybody who's boss and not be laughed at because we're so afraid of being laughed at. Superpowers, we're always afraid of being embarrassed, but look at the egg on our face now with Iran. Fucking embarrassment. Of course it's an embarrassment. It's total embarrassment.
From the very beginning, wokeism, political correctness, whatever you call them, not because they are too radical, but I think this is a typical, for me,
Shane Gillis.
Wokeism is one of the ways of how to talk a lot and pretending to change things without...
Oh, yeah, Shane Gillis. No, I don't like Shane Gillis. Did you see him on the roast? Jesus. Shane Gillis just makes so many jokes that are... He tells unfunny racist jokes. Like, if you tell a racist joke, that shit better be fucking hilarious. You better be a really good... It's so cheap to tell a racist joke and not put the work into it. If you're going to tell a racist joke, it better be funny as shit. And it better have a good lead up. It better be a well-constructed joke. Like Louis C.K.'s N-word joke, where he gets the coffee made and he walks away, and it's a white guy making the coffee. And he walks away and he's like, man, that N-word made the fuck out of this coffee. Like, but the build-up and everything was funny. But he drops an N-bomb in it. But it was funny enough. No one ever talks about Louis C.K. saying the N-word because he tells a joke that's kind of about race, says the N-word, and it's funny enough that he is not on the hook for saying the N-word. No one really talks ever. I've never heard someone say, oh, Louis C.K. says racist jokes. Because his shit was funny.
Really changing society. What did this politically correct feminism effectively do to make women's lives better? Concrete problem.
Ooh, what's wrong with loving your own race? Oof, what do you mean loving your own race? What do you mean? Do you love your own race or do you love whiteness? Because whiteness is not really a race. Like, you're not really a race of people. We made that shit up in order to be over black people. That's why whiteness exists. It's not really a race that came about because of collective experience. It's not something that just organically came about. Is because is an Italian a white person? Is a Jewish person a white person? Is someone in Israel white? What is whiteness? People write books about this because it's not really a race. It's an identity that we use in order to put ourselves on a higher rung of a hierarchy. So when you say I love my whiteness, it's really I love my privilege, and it gets very complicated because it's not a race. We have no shared experience with the Irish. I have no shared experience with an Irish person who comes to America and a German person comes to America. They have in common the color of their skin, but other than that, nothing. But a person brought to this country from Nigeria and kept as a slave, and a person who brought to this country from Chad and brought to America and made a slave, and they're raised for 100 years, generations go by, and they're enslaved. They now have a racial identity that has arisen because of shared experience. It's not really the same thing, Is Asian a race? Fucking good question. Does someone from Japan have the same experience? I don't think that they would agree, because in China there's like 6 different races or something. There's a lot of people in China. There's a lot of different races in China. There's a lot of different races in not Japan, but Japan's not as monoculture as people think, but it's pretty. But the Chinese hate the Japanese. Korean, talk to a South Korean about how they feel about the Japanese. They got a long history of hating the Japanese. All races should be treated the same. What does that mean?
Abortion rights, health care, and so on. So here we totally agree. But what I find, again, specific about Trump, and that's what worries me, is I cannot but call it self-consciously clownish character of his rules. Are we aware of the vulgarity of his speech? And that's not ordinary fascism. No, fascist leaders would never speak like that. What I'm only saying, where I see fascism? I remember when Trump sent National Guard to California. And he was asked, but aren't you violating the law? You are only allowed to use the army against foreign enemies. And his answer was close to fascism. His answer was, but those we are fighting there, immigrants, big corporations which use immigrants, this is a foreign invasion. So
but Trump's argument, argument, because I've heard him use this when he extrapolates it, is that he will push the existing law as far as he can to suit his purposes.
Yeah, that's fascism.
As I think most presidents have done. He does it in a more open, rhetorically inflammatory manner. But if you actually study what he does, often he gets...
most presidents have done this. Well, most presidents have done a little fascism.
Backed by the courts. And he doesn't then try and usurp.
Presidents are the executive branch. They're the fucking enemy. When do you guys get this to your fucking head? Every president is a criminal. Every single one of them is a war criminal, at best. At best.
From what I've seen, the court authority and just bypass it. Now, that would be fascism. And similarly, when he lost power in 2020, although we had the appalling scenes on January the 6th, ultimately Trump did leave the White House. I mean, he didn't try and to stay in the White House.
He did try. That's what January 6th was. It failed. Like, what? I mean, after January 6th, he did leave. Okay. If I'm speeding in my car and I'm driving really, really fast, and the cops are after me, and they're like, "Get out of the car! Slow down your car! Stop the car! Get out of your car!" And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna go." And I speed, and they put out that strip that pops my tires. I drive over it. Damn it! Now my car's going real slow. Get out of the car! Get out of the car! All right. I'll get out of the car. Do I get to go to the judge and say, "Well, I mean, I got out"? You got out after you tried to outrun the cops, asshole. That's not getting out, motherfucker. Donald Trump didn't leave. He left office after all. Fucking Piers Morgan is a goddamn moron, and it's painful to watch him every single time. I hate this man so much.
Will stay in power. So, yes, it was appalling and reprehensible what happened that day, but a real fascist wouldn't have left, right? They wouldn't have accepted the result of the election at all, wouldn't have left the White House.
They all leave eventually. Saddam Hussein left eventually.
I would have carried on just running the country. So again, I'm just saying that Trump can often sound
fucking idiot,
like he's a fascist. And I understand why people then assume that that's what he is. But in terms of his actual actions, until I see him literally usurping American law and just ignore.
He did on January 6th. It was deplorable what happened, but he did leave in the end. What the fuck are you talking about?
Ignoring it and doing whatever he wants. I don't think he does that. I think he pushes the door as hard as he possibly can. But the judges and the courts, it's up to them. If they then, or the Supreme Court says you can't do something, I've not seen evidence he then just does it anyway, which is what a fascist would.
He did with the tariffs. He did it with the tariffs. We haven't stopped the tariffs, and he's been told to stop. He did it with the Epstein files. He was told by law to release every Epstein files. He hasn't done it. That's breaking the law. The guy breaks the law repeatedly, and people like Piers Morgan are like, oh, but he's not so bad because he hasn't literally. Yeah, he's broken the emoluments clause. He's broken the Constitution. Oh, he just goes right up to the edge and doesn't do. No, you fucking idiot. He breaks the law constantly, all the time. All the time, because the rule of law means nothing to him, and it never has. And you know what? The rule of law should mean nothing to you, because the Constitution is a piece of paper that they don't recognize. They want you to follow the Constitution. They don't care about how, they're not going to follow it. The rule of law is for poor people. Law and order, well, they are the law. The rich are the law. And you are being kept in order. You stay in order. You worm-faced American. You're just a wormy little American. Just keep it real. Keep your head down. Do your work. Be thankful. Be thankful that we gave you a bottle to piss in.
But again, the key is, I think, that you still use the term fascism in this violent sense. You break the law. Or the,
well, ignoring the law and ignoring a democratic election, ignoring the law. You know, all those things are the actions of a genuine fascist, I would say. Whereas I don't see that with Trump. I see a lot of inflammatory rhetoric, a lot of stuff which comes out of his mouth, which sounds like it's fascist. But actually, if you study his actions, they're not the actions.
If you study his actions, it's not quite fitting fascism for me. I mean, he talks like a fascist. He walks like a fascist. But when it doesn't quite do exactly the way it is, because you're moving the goalpost, moron. If it walks like a Nazi and talks like a Nazi, it's a fucking Nazi. But Piers Morgan's like, but it's still, he walks like a Nazi, it talks like a Nazi, but, you know, it isn't quite so bad yet. So, I say we give him a bit more rope. A bit of a longer leash, right?
I think he nonetheless come pretty close to it with the way he used that ICE and so on.
Yeah, but again, I would say, I'm not here to defend Trump on this, I'm playing devil's advocate, really. But I remember that the biggest deporter of migrants in American history was Obama. He deported over 3 million, and he often...
Obama, he deported over 3 million, and he's a fascist. Yeah, fucking he's a president. They're all got a little fascism. They got a little strain of fascism in their blood. Every president's a little fascist. That's right, because they're the executive branch. And the way we keep them from going into full fascism is the Constitution and a strong Congress. That's how you do it. Guess what? Barack Obama tried to do lots of stupid shit. And guess what? They shut down the fucking government. The Republicans fought him over and over and over again. They fought him tooth and nail. And so did the Democrats. They fought him on all sorts of shit. Because that's what their job is. The Supreme Court fought him on a bunch of shit. Because he was a president, and that's what presidents are supposed to do. Put him in their place. Yeah, he's not a fascist if he hasn't killed a million people. And Donald Trump has killed millions of people.
Deployed some appalling tactics. He split up families. He put kids in cages. All the things that the left have accused Trump of doing as an example of his fascism, that was all being done by Obama. So.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny, right? Yes, Again, I don't know why all you stupid Democrats are like, oh, well, Obama, he wasn't as bad. He was. He just wasn't as mean. He just wasn't as mean about it. That's it. And he did give him due process. He didn't suspend habeas corpus. Oh, Obama, he put kids in cages. Yeah, he did. He also gave him a day in court and gave him lawyers. It's a big difference. Lawyers. Now, kids don't get lawyers when they go to court. It's fucking crazy. Watch videos of that shit. Under Trump, lawyers are not given to illegals. So if you're a 4-year-old and you appear before a judge, the judge talks to you at 4 years old and tells you what's going to happen. And the kids are just like, no understanding, no lawyer. They're just there by themselves. That didn't happen under Obama.
I think that there is a double standard there, and I don't. I wouldn't
double
categorize-
standard?
The icing is interesting. Like putting ICE agents onto the streets in Minnesota, for example, clearly turned out to be a terrible decision. But was it the action of a fascist? to do that?
Yes!
Or was he doing what Obama did, only in a more bullish manner on the streets?
Yeah, a more violent and meaner way. Yes. Piers Morgan, you're almost there, Piers. It's almost like the whole government is wrong because it exists by threat of violence.
Obama did a lot of stuff where he went into prisons and took prisoners and sent them home and deported them, for example. So he did it a little bit more stealthily, but he deported a lot more people than Trump did.
Okay. No.
Yeah, he did it legally because he did it the smart way. Barack Obama's smarter than Donald Trump. And he assuaged people's consternation about the treatment of immigrants by creating the DACA program, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and he called them dreamers. He branded it even, the dreamers. Oh, you came here at 3 years old and you've been here. Well, you're not really illegal because this is your home. You came here when you were 3 years old and now you're 35. We got to figure out something different for you. That was a big move for Barack Obama, and it made people feel a lot better about the kids in cages and the mass migration we were doing, the mass deportations. It made everyone feel a little bit better about it because, yeah, there were some cases where we had to like look at it and be like, yeah, this ain't right. Donald Trump doesn't believe in that shit. Donald Trump and Stephen Miller, they want to incinerate them. Barack Obama's bad, though. Trust me.
I agree with this, but the paradox of Trump is, for me, the following one. He and the entire MAGA movement and so on claim to be radical liberals.
Yes.
Some of the people whom I call leftist MAGA people, like, ironically, like Steve Bannon.
Right.
You know, they even say, Steve Bannon characterized himself as a Leninist. I want to destroy the state and so on,
Yes.
all that. Total freedom of the press and so on. But isn't the actual result that, the press, the state is, if anything, getting much stronger under Trump, intervening in economy. Look how he does with tariffs and so on.
Yeah.
So,
well, tariffs, I would argue, he was allowed to do it legally. I don't think he broke any laws.
He was not. He broke laws. The Supreme Court has already weighed in on this.
Doing his tariff.
no,
He
but,
did.
but nonetheless,
But
sorry.
also,
He did break laws. And fucking Piers Morgan talking over Zizek is so annoying. Zizek is too nice. Zizek, you're being too nice to this fascist.
genuinely has a conviction, because he's expressed it to me for 20 years, that America's being
Piers Morgan
ripped
is a
off by
fascist.
unfair trading arrangements around the world.
Fascist.
Particularly by China. And so he's always wanted to do this. And actually, there is an argument it was beginning to work quite well. If you're America, it was beginning to work quite well until the war with Iran, which has thrown everything up in the apple cart. So again, is that an example, the tariff war, of fascism, or just a president who has a worldview that America's getting ripped off with trade and wants to rebalance it in America's favor, which many Americans might agree with?
No, my argument here would have been that, this is part of much more complex line of thought, that what we are getting now in United States and many other countries is no longer the old global capitalism.
Right.
Something new.
That's true.
Something new is emerging.
It's a much more isolationist
Not
worldview.
only isolationist, but at the same time, a new structure of power where I don't fully agree with Yanis Varoufakis, who likes to speak about.
He came on the show last week.
Really, neo-feudalism and so on. But it's true that figures like Musk, Jeff Bezos, and so on.
Well, I'm going to bring that up, actually, because you've got a particular issue with the Silicon Valley broligarchs, as they've been called.
Yeah.
Saying they are part of a slide to fascism. You've called out
Yes.
Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. In particular, you pointed to the recently released Palantir Manifesto.
Yeah.
America's getting ripped off by whom? Who's ripping off Americans? Who's ripping us off? Trump? Yes, Trump is ripping us off. He's funneling billions of dollars. Literally, he's suing himself right now because the IRS was mean to him. He's suing for $17 billion, and he's suing himself, so he'll just award himself $17 billion of taxpayer money. You're right. We are getting ripped off by Donald Trump. Yes.
Released in April this year, a 22-point document outlining a militant vision for Western dominance through advanced AI and military software. Now, full disclosure, I'm a stockholder in Palantir, and I have invested in
Of course
Elon Musk
you
with
are.
various companies like Tesla.
Of course
and so on.
you did.
So I put that on the record. I've interviewed Peter Thiel. I found him a very interesting character, a very fascinating views about stuff. So, what is your actual view of these people? Are they bad people, or are they just having too much power?
No, neither. I just think that they are no longer capitalists in the old sense of the word. I would put it like this. They privatized, they have under control something that in the old social tradition we call commons. They
Hold
are
on.
not
I just want to point something out. I love this shit. Tiny Lion Gaming says both of these guys are Jews. Low IQ. Dude, how to tell me you're a dumb fascist without telling me. You're like Eichmann. You probably have the lowest IQ of anyone in the chat right now. How embarrassing for you.
Big capitalists against or controlling workers. They control the very space of exchange between workers and capitalists. This is something new. It's a new form of not absolute monopoly, but monopoly.
But if Elon Musk, for example, is generating enormous numbers of jobs, as he is.
It is not. It's eliminating jobs. He's not creating enormous numbers of jobs. That's not true.
To his company, SpaceX or Tesla. If he's doing
these Tesla's literally whole thing is that they are not creating jobs. They are trying to create an automated workforce.
things like Neuralink, where he's literally going to allow paraplegic people to perhaps...
Neuralink is not for paraplegic people. It's for military access. It's for military options. There's no fucking money in saving paraplegics, you fucking imbecile. If you think that Elon Musk is making Neuralink to help paraplegics, you should buy Melania Coin. It's the most important financial tool for the future of American prosperity, and it's endorsed by the President of the United States and the First Lady. Buy Melania Coin. Sell your house, buy Melania Coin if you believe that Neuralink is getting all of this government subsidy, they're putting all this money, torturing all these animals, and putting electrodes in people's brains, and pigs' brains, and monkeys' brains, that they're doing all of that to help paraplegics. You are a sucker.
To be able to leave.
Now
you're just like Piers Morgan.
Entered another very problematic domain. Here I find Musk at his most dangerous. You see, I think maybe you fell into a trap here because you said paraplegics and so on. Yes, they always emphasize this beneficent effect.
Yes.
You think they want to get into people's brains?
But they are.
No, but you think they want to do it for nefarious reasons?
It doesn't matter.
They want to do it for money, you dumb piece of shit. Oh, you think they want to do it for nefarious reasons? No, they want to do it for fucking money. That's why they're doing it, money.
It doesn't matter. If this will, and I'm not here just demonizing Musk, the Chinese are doing it like crazy.
Do you think AI in the end is going to be a force for good or the force that destroys the world?
I'm more skeptical here, but again, let me insist on this point. Are you aware what potentially radical thing Neuralink is? It means that potentially, if my thought processes are directly readable, open to a machine, then ultimately we are losing the intimate sense of the self. We are put at the same level, our brain is open, and especially if another person controls what they put into my mind. I find that literally, if Neuralink will explode, it's still doubtful, then we will no longer be human in the usual sense of the word. Because being human...
Yeah, but likely it's not even going to get that far. It's for military applications, so they can fucking fly drones with their brains. I mean, why would you play video games with your brains? I can control a swarm of drones with my brain, and some 18-year-old who wants to get out of his dad's house and wants to see the world or whatever bullshit his recruiter tells him, join the Marines, son, join the Navy, join the Air Force, and we'll put a Neuralink in your brain. It won't hurt, and we'll turn it off as soon as we're done. But you put it in there for 4 years, you can fly some drones around the Middle East and fucking kill a bunch of people, kill some kids. You're gonna love it. You're just like playing a video game in your brain. And an 18-year-old to be like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Sure, put that fucking chip in. How much are you going to pay me for it? Pfft, put it in. That's what all of us are like, man. If it's going to be like, hey, you need a job. What kind of job? I need a job real bad. Oh, you want a job? Okay, we're going to put this Neuralink in your head, and you can drive a fleet of trucks around America. You can tap into all the Waymos. So you'll be a Waymo supervisor. And we're just going to put this little chip in your brain. And any moment that there's a problem with a Waymo, you can hop in there in your brain and drive a Waymo and get it out of trouble. Cool. How much are you going to pay me for it? That's always going to be the question. How much? Yeah, plug me in. That's what it's going to be. The Army utilized video games to recruit, so application is applicable. Yes. There you go. It's always going to be that way. So he can become Elon Grok and live forever. It's not going to be about controlling your mind because your mind's already controlled. You're already controlled. All of us are. We have to make decisions based on this bullshit metric of cash and equity and capital, which none of us usually have. Most of us don't have any capital whatsoever. And so we've got to constantly be making decisions based on survival. And they'll give us all the avenues to survive as long as you pay them a little bit. Pay them, and they'll keep you alive for a while till they kill you, and they'll sell you the cure for that too. And they'll get you sick intentionally and then sell you that. Like we're already under control. So this idea that Neuralink's going to control your thought, they're already doing that shit, man. You think the 10,000 ads you see every day in America, that's not having an effect on you? It's having an effect. Everyone thinks, I'm not susceptible to ads. Okay. Sure. That's why all that money goes into it. But no one's susceptible to it. Everyone thinks that they're fucking impervious. Neuralink's not going to be about trying to deliver thoughts. It's going to be about being better soldiers, controlling larger groups. Maybe, like those mech suits and shit like that. That'll be great with the Neuralink, Put a Neuralink and all of a sudden you're in a mech suit. Now you're walking around with a mech suit on. Perfect. Implant me, right? How much are you going to pay me? Cool, I'll do it. Or we could do all sorts of stuff with Neuralink. It's not going to be about paraplegics, I'll fucking tell you that right now. They're not doing it to help people. I'm sure a side venture of Neuralink will be helping some people in need, maybe only for good price. Yeah, of course. Of course that'll always be. Yeah, there'll be some of that, but there aren't enough paraplegic people to make millions and billions of dollars that they can't make their money back by serving paraplegics. We all know where the money is. You think the same thing with these AI chatbots. You think fucking ChatGPT gives two shits about the $20 that you spend to chat and have a little helper? To have a little helper help you write your emails? They don't give a shit about that. What they care about is training their AI and you paying for that data. So they're probably breaking even, but they make money off of government contracts like the military. ChatGPT has a military contract worth tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of billions of billions. That's what that's what the AI's for. They don't give a shit. They're trying to replace us. Think they care about your $10, $15 a month? They don't give a shit. That's why it was free in the beginning. That's why it didn't have ads in the beginning. Feeling back injury, see the benefits as a civilian. Sure. That you could keep working. Yeah, if you have a back injury, you keep going to work. Great. They'll keep you in the workforce for a little while longer. Keep using your labor. Perfect. Maybe. Sure, there's always going to be, there's benefits to some of these things. There's benefits to, like, you probably have a microwave oven, right? Microwave oven was discovered through the military. That was a military application. They were building fucking heat beams and like using radar equipment, and they were sending different waves, and they found out that they were getting cooked on the inside, and they were like, oh shit, that could be a weapon. And they started developing it as a weapon, and it turned out it was a really great way to cook food. So now we all got it in our houses. Sure, there's a civilian benefit. GPS, we all use GPS every day. How about Wi-Fi location? We all use it on our phones. Great. Like these fucking things, military developed this shit. Sure. Pretty cool, right? You think it was developed for you? You think they invented this so that you can, I don't know, fucking play Angry Birds? You play Birds with Friends? The internet, yeah. The internet was military and medical. Anyway, thanks all for being here. Adam Braum brought about the microwave, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it was all aerospace stuff. It all kind of happened at the same time. All that stuff was during the World War II. They were coming up with all sorts of shit and all sorts of new ways to kill people. Yeah. Oh, and banks, yeah. Don't forget the banks. Sure, banks, that's a great way to use the Neuralink, huh? The Neuralink, I can make more trades more quickly. I can make more decisions. I can make more quick. Like, there literally used to be a race to get closer to Wall Street because the wire length would mean that some people would be making trades only a couple seconds after the other people because they were closer due to the way information traveled back then. Whew. Can you believe that shit? Put that fucking electrode in my brain. I'm making trades all day on my brain. I can make trades very quickly as a I could be on the phone. Oh, buy, sell, and I'm making trades. Like you could do that shit with Neuralink. Of course, it'll be for the banks. Sure, the banks. Great, banks. Not even talking about labor, just having a normal life, being able to get to the bathroom, being able to stand up. Yeah, sure, we'll have some of that. Sure. That's just not why they're doing it. That's not why it's happening. And we have to ask, is it worth it? Like, we love these ideas like, oh, atomic power was developed. Yeah, not really. Like, we learned how to split the atom in order to kill people. And now look where we are. But hey, we got atomic power out of it. We got free electricity, right? Oh, well, it's not actually going to be free. Well, why not? I thought we had like unlimited electricity now. Yeah, ish, but not really. No, we're still going to fucking charge you out the ass because, you know, because we can. Because we got the fucking nukes. We got the uranium, whatever we need to do it. I'm not even talking about going to work. I get it. Calm down. You're all right. Socialism is taking money from hardworking people, the poor people, and giving it to the government, the strong. No, that's not what socialism is at all. What are you talking about? Jerry, you don't know what socialism is? Damn, son. Anyway, great. Fun times. This has been good. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that you don't know what socialism is. It's unfortunate. That's not at all what it is. But hey, go to a library and look up, try to find some books about socialism. And then look around the library and realize, oh, this library was built by socialism. This library is a testament to socialism. Pretty cool, right? Go to a library, read about socialism, and then realize that you're in a socialist building. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you, and I hope you're having a great day. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. It's Friday. I used to not go live at all on Friday, and we usually do things a little bit differently over here. Hopefully you like and subscribe. We do a morning show every morning, Monday through Friday. The Morning Sky Show, the #1 news reaction show on YouTube. Can you believe it? I know. It's been fun. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I have a lot going on. Hopefully we'll have some more streams later. Post office is sort of socialist. Sort of socialist. Yeah, for sure. All right, good show. Thank you, Rude Thing for You. I hope you like and subscribe and do all the things you're supposed to do. Hype the video, all that stuff. Afterglow. I didn't schedule an Afterglow because I went for 3.5 hours over here. On Fridays, I've been going so long because the stuff you guys send me are kind of longer. So we weren't going to do Afterglow. My back's starting to hurt, and I've been standing up for about 4 hours in this spot. I need to stop looking at screens, stop having lights on me. But we'll do some other stuff later, for sure. All right, thank you so much. Positrack, you get it, broski? All right, please become a channel member. Sky City Rebels, we do exclusive streams, exclusive stuff for everybody. I appreciate you very, very much. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Godspeed, Rebels. Don't take it with Nichols. Take care of yourself. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Take care of yourself. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. Okay? You're doing okay. You're doing okay. Keep up. Keep it up. Keep going. Stay strong. Don't let the bastards grind.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.